The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. This program begins now. Football is amazing, and last night college football had a massive night. The new college football playoff rankings were released, and projected bracket was released with a lot of questions obviously still being left to be answered, but also all eyes looking at Columbus, Ohio this weekend as Indiana, the Hoosiers, who are currently ranked higher than they've ever been in the history of Indiana football, take on the Ohio State Buckeyes, who already have one loss against the Oregon Ducks. Will that make two top five losses for the Ohio State team? And what does that mean for their future if they were to lose to Indiana? And on the flip side, if Indiana was to lose to Ohio State, what does the game look like? What do the rankings look like? I think I saw last night on the show, if they were to win that game, 96% chance that they end up making it. If they were to lose that game, 95% chance to make it in there.
Okay.
Which led to Joey Galloway infamously saying last night, if I'm Kurt Cignetti, I'm thinking about resting Curtis Rourke for this particular game, because we all saw what happened at Florida State whenever they lose Travis. Do you need to get your quarterback hurt at this point if you're going to get into college football playoffs anyways? Joey Galloway was shredded on X because of this particular take, but I think what he was saying is if this game doesn't matter, the only thing that would matter is if you lose your key player. Why would you want to do that? This is the world we're in right now. A lot of objection, a lot of opinion, a lot of ideas, and inevitably it's a group of 13 people voting on who should get the 12 college football playoff spots. 5 of them already taken. From the 4 highest rated champions from around the country will get the first round bye, and then the 5th highest rated conference champion will have a spot. In this particular case, the way they rolled out this, the Power 5 group champion, Boise State, is ranked higher than the Big 12 champion would be if BYU would go on to be the Big 12 champion, which they not necessarily going to happen at all. Colorado has an opportunity. Arizona State has an opportunity. BYU obviously has an opportunity. That's why these are all just projections. But for the first time since these college football rankings have come out, the Power 4 champion has been ranked lower than the Power 5 champion, or Group of 5 champion. So the Group of 5 champion, Boise State, gets a first round bye. The Power 4 champion has to play in the first round. It is madness. It is chaos. But I think the reason why it is the case is because we all can't wait for this to happen. We all can't wait for that first game to kick off. We all can't wait for the world to see the home field advantage for these college football playoff games that we've been dreaming of. The world can't wait to find out who the real champion is.
Hell yeah.
Now, there's a couple people that are just kind of locked in. We all know that Oregon is basically good until whenever, however, forever. Until their new documentary came out about their game in Wisconsin.
So sweet.
Going in the fourth quarter, they're down 7. They have a 4th and 9, and then Jump Around comes on at Camp Randall. You know, the whole thing. And then they obviously take a look back in earlier in the week with the way Dan Lanning has handled his entire team and the way he set the precedent of the week. Dan Lanning to his boys is, you're going to hear Jump Around when you go there. All week when you hear Jump Around, I want the temperature to be adjusted. I want things to be tightened up a little bit. So during practice, they weren't just playing it over and over and over to desensitize it. In the big moments in practice, in the big situations, they turn that song on and everybody gets a heightened atmosphere. So down 7 at Wisconsin. A perfect season on the line, a number 1 ranking on the line, a national championship for Oregon potentially still being talked about on the line. They turn on Jump Around. And if you look at Oregon's sideline versus looking at Wisconsin's sideline, you wouldn't know who was leading by 7, who was trailing by 7, who was the home team, who was the away team. And I think it's that mental toughness, the way that team is kind of put together, that makes everybody think this Oregon team, this might be the year.
It might be special.
This might be the year for Oregon. But that's not the conversation today. No. The conversation is who's going to sneak in, who's left out, who's going to be the team over these last couple weeks that's going to make a run for it in the football judgment test for people that get themselves and earn themselves an opportunity to be in the dance. And once they get in the dance, are they going to be able to go? Outside looking in, couple teams obviously not thrilled. Couple teams obviously not thrilled. Inside looking out, there's some teams that are certainly...
Thank God.
Hey, can't be dancing. Can't be dancing much or your ass is going to get kicked out. Then there's obviously the conversation of what do these people care about more in the College Football Playoff Committee? Is it your record? Okay, do they care about the record?
Sure.
Do they care about football judgment? Do they care about strength of schedule? Then you look at Texas, Penn State, and IU, ranked 3, 4, and 5. And then you look at their key wins for these teams.
Yeah.
And you can see how a team like Georgia, who's ranked pretty low, just had another massive win over Tennessee. They go Texas's key wins. Oh, Texas lost to Georgia, by the way. Texas's key wins. Vanderbilt, that was good at one point.
Big win.
Arkansas was good at one point.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, and that was very close this past weekend.
Yep.
I mean, that was a very close game until the fourth. That's a big rivalry game. That is a good win. Any win is a good win, especially in college ball in this modern world that we're in. Any win in the SEC is a good win is what we've been told. Penn State, who are their big-time wins? Okay, they're ranked 4th currently. Illinois and Wisconsin.
Okay.
They're good football
Good football team.
At Wisconsin.
Those are good football.
Jump.
Get
Yeah,
up, get up, get
Yeah,
down.
they're doing the whole thing. And then Indiana obviously has wins over Michigan, the reigning national champion.
Come on.
And then Washington, the reigning national finalist last year. And they're getting no respect, 106th strength of schedule. So you got a lot of people in the SEC going, okay, so what matters, what doesn't matter? What we know, college football matters.
Amen.
And that's why people care so much. We'll be talking about that all damn day, I would assume. We also have a lot of NFL chatter because we're joined by some phenomenal human beings. It's not the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Hey, you too,
Thank
Pat.
Phenomenal, a little different.
Yeah, definitely.
Than great.
Different echelon.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any of us on a regular basis there, but
No.
those who are joining us, obviously, phenomenal.
Always.
JJ Watt will be here in the next hour.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, player coach. Jackie Moon of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also played for the Cardinals, the Colts,
Yep.
the Ravens,
Wow.
the Eagles,
Wow.
and the Steelers. Ladies and gentlemen, Penn State legend. How are they ranked so high?
It's ridiculous.
We got a home playoff game?
You kidding me?
Joke.
AQ Shipley.
Hey.
I see you in your Sun
Day
Red. How'd you feel last night on Tuesday seeing the Penn State boys being ranked so damn well?
I feel real good about where they're at. They don't have a lot going down the final couple weeks. They're going to stay out of the Big Ten championship. They got a nice little ride into the playoffs.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
They feel like, like a preseason into the college football playoffs.
That's right.
If you were to view it that way, which is why so many people are pissed. And then 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, Darius J. Butler's here. Good to see you,
D-Bud.
Bud. Obviously, Altcast season is right around the corner for us where we'll be on the sideline. It's amazing. I'm excited for people that have never experienced college football to get to experience college football through this 12-team playoff. But I think we talked about this yesterday. Because it's all like judgment and opinion, and you can counter every single argument, feels like they're never going to be able to get it 100% right, but we do know that the 12 teams that get in are all going to be good, right?
Yeah,
That's how we feel?
That's all we want is good games. And I think it's going to be some outs there, obviously, when you put in that eye test, right? Because now, is it your IQ? Is it AQ? Is it me? Is it Pat? Is it Ty? What do we see? What judgment do we have there? But we know there will be big games and the watch-alongs. That's my favorite part of
The greatest.
the football season, period.
I saw you
NFL,
post about it. I
college,
completely forgot about them.
Best shit ever.
I don't know
time.
how we get to do it.
Every time.
The fact that we get to do it is awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that the games we've done have all been
Pretty good.
Bangers.
like if we're on the sidelines.
We had one.
Yeah, but still
That was the national
One
championship.
Tyson Ball,
Yeah, there's no other opportunity. There's no other opportunity. It was the national championship.
They earned
game.
it, yeah.
But if we're on the sideline, what we have learned is this is about to be a game.
Yeah.
This is about to be a game. But we're going to be on the sideline of a home field advantage college football, playoff game that matters. Win and move on. Lose, go to the offseason. You look at the bracket, how it's currently projected, and we have to talk about this. This is just a projection of a bracket. Now, the College Football Playoff Committee just does rankings. Okay, they just do rankings. So the people at ESPN College Football, the people that run the Tuesday night show, the people that are very much associated with College Game Day as well, I've talked to them about this, they are being forced to be kind of, so what are we supposed to do here?
Yep.
Well, will you give us a conference champion CFP committee? We don't do that. It's like, this is a new deal.
Kind of have to.
If you fucking did, it would be a lot easier for all parties. That's up for you guys to do. It's like, no, it isn't. This is yours, College Football Playoff Committee. This is your ranking. This is your thing. This is not an ESPN thing. Remember, last year, whenever Herbstreit gives his take, all of a sudden everybody thinks Herbstreit's the one picking who the Final Four teams is. I thought we were going to try to stay away from that. We thought it was going to be College Football Playoff Committee. They say, we're just doing the rankings. It's like, that's quite a cop-out. I would like to let the College Football Playoff Committee know that I feel that way. That is not a voice from anybody else. That is a voice from me. I think that is you should have to project who you think are going to be the conference champions, because that's a very big piece of this entire 12-team playoff. So now what the ESPN folks are forced to do on Tuesday nights is they are just taking the highest ranked person or team from each conference and putting them as the conference champion. Now, I don't know if that's how the College Football Playoff Committee is looking at it. We don't know if that's how they're expecting it to work. But the way this kind of lays out, these are the highest projected ranked conference champions that get the first round bye. Then I was watching Get Up this morning. And Get Up this morning said, Ohio State has a 64% chance of earning a first-round bye in the CFP if they beat Indiana.
Okay.
So if they beat Indiana, they have a 64% chance to beat Oregon in the Big Ten championship, because the only way you get a first-round bye is if you win your conference championship. So if they can beat Indiana, we think about 64% chance of beating Oregon. But the way they laid it out is as if they beat Indiana, their record is what it is, then you earn a first-round bye. The only way you earn a first-round bye is if you win a championship. And then the 4 highest-ranked champions then are the ones that get the first-round bye. The 5th highest-ranked champion, Power 5 champion, is going to be, or Power 4 champion in this particular case, is in the first round. So I think there is a little bit of confusion by people because it's the first time. But also, I think the College Football Playoff Committee is copping out of a very, very big piece of the new College Football playoff bracket. And this is not somebody telling me to say this. Obviously, nobody wants to just say, hey, you guys who are getting paid billions of dollars for this entire thing aren't doing your job. Like, nobody's telling me to say that. I'm just saying you're making everybody's life that's in college football at ESPN much worse, because all anybody says on the internet whenever they see some of these things, oh, look who ESPN wants to be in there. That's their projection. It's like, no, this is strictly off of what the College Football Playoff Committee has ranked these particular teams. And the only thing we can possibly do is just take the highest ranked person from each conference and assume that they think they're going to be the champion and give them a first-round bye, which is why this bracket could be completely different. Oregon could lose in the Big Ten championship here in Indianapolis. Not saying they will, but they could lose. Then they're getting bumped back. They have a home game. Now who's getting bumped out of the home? So this is literally just projection. This could be significantly different, let alone the Big 12. Everybody's saying BYU is going to win. That could be many other teams. And if Colorado gets on a run and they get hot, are they going to get ranked higher because of the good players that they have, the strength of schedule that they have, the hotness that they are in? Then are they getting a first-round bye? Boise State's bouncing back? What if it's not Boise State? What if Army somehow goes on a run here and gets it? It's like this bracket right here, I don't want to say is it's fun.
It's very fun.
This is very, very, very fun. But the accuracy of it could be complete crop.
Yeah,
definitely.
And then you see people go, look at what ESPN's. It's not. This is the College Football Playoff Committee. 2 very different people, 2 very different entities. A lot of proud people in that College Football Playoff Committee. And then there's obviously the question I was asked, well, what if you make it to the conference championship? They say they value championships. That's why you get a first-round bye. Well, what if you have 2 losses in the SEC or the Big Ten? You make it to the championship somehow, which is possible in both parties. Then you get 3 losses and you're in a championship. There's no way you're going to get put in over somebody that has 1 loss from another conference or whatever. Here's what Ward Manuel, athletic director from Michigan, who is the lead of the College Football Playoff Committee, had to say about that last night to Reese Davis.
Well, we have a lot of value. You know, we're not going to speculate on what will happen, but we have a lot of value of the with the teams that make a championship game. That says a lot. Playing 12 games in the season, making your championship game is a really valuable data point. Number one. Number two, we're going to evaluate the games and how teams play and the performance on the field. That's what the commissioners have asked us to do. They didn't ask us to stop right before the championship game. They asked us to rank the teams through the championship game. And I think you could see over the years how the committee has valued those championship games and who stays in and where they're ranked. But this year, we're not going to speculate. We're going to let the season play out. But I think teams who make that championship game, the committee looks at them and puts them in high esteem.
Okay, so the committee has a very difficult job. We all understand that.
Yeah. Sure.
But they signed up for that job. They're one of the 13 people in there. They're the ones that get to make that decision, I think is how a lot of people say. They're not going to get 100% right, but these projections of the bracket, I think, are just so potentially wrong. But it gets everybody jacked up, and it gets the people going, D-Butch.
Yeah, it creates some conversation. Of course, that's what they want. But like you said, how they look now, these not only can be, this will be completely different once and you look at all of them, 3 out of the 4, all of them could lose. Honestly, outside, I think Boise, I think they're pretty safe. But Oregon, you're going to play a tough. Miami, obviously, we don't know who's going to win the ACC. Big 12's wide open. Like, it's just going to be completely different. That's what's going to make it great.
Yeah, Texas going to be able to make it to the SEC championship. Are they going to be able to win the SEC championship? They've only had one big SEC game thus far, and it was Georgia, and they lose at home.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's like the amount of things that could change, I think, are endless. But I do believe that the excitement just continues to build.
Oh, no doubt.
Continues to build.
Can't wait for all this. And like you talking about teams losing, like Miami has been a first round bye the entire projection. If they were to lose to Clemson, who's at 16, who I assume a lot of people think that Clemson's just going to be out, and then Clemson all of a sudden becomes a team either in the playoff or with a first round bye. And then is Miami out because they're at 8 and they lose the ACC championship?
Yeah, because there's 2 ACC people going to get in? Probably not.
Probably not, especially with 2 losses, like over one of the SEC teams with 2 losses. Like it is crazy to talk about, but it definitely is going to change completely by the last one.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, by and large, like them doing this is bullshit because it doesn't mean anything, but it is fun for us to talk about. But I think the one thing that it does kind of lean to is we know that some like the Big 12 and the ACC, like chances are they're getting one team in. So, like, everyone else is going to be jockeying for those 8 spots between the SEC and the Big 10. But we've talked about it a bunch. Like, there is a chance that, going into the final week of the season or the SEC championship, that there are like 7 teams in the SEC that are jockeying for a position in this. So, like, that is why it's still, it's fun to talk about this, but for it being this late in the season, like, we still really have, there's what, maybe 2 teams that you can definitively say, like, hey, they're probably in, and everyone else is kind of up in the air.
I appreciate the fact that the conference championships matter. Okay, that they wanted to put an emphasis on being a conference champion. That's why you get the first round bye, yada, yada, yada. But, like, until that game happens, we have no idea.
No.
And with how the college football season has been, literally anything can happen. Now, on that note, let's go to Hammer, Dahn. AP Tone obviously wrote a book on college ball before the season started. He's been following closely. He's helped me out every single week with game day prep. Tone, what is the big takeaway from last night, and what are your thoughts on what we've discussed thus far?
I think they football judgmented the shit out of this because, as Darius said earlier, that kind of gives them an out, and it's hard to argue with football judgment. Like, when you look at it, they have Notre Dame over Miami, Boise, SMU, BYU. All those teams are one-loss teams, but you could definitely say, and I think it would be hard for people to argue, that Notre Dame's loss to NIU is not the worst of those teams that have one loss. But their argument is Notre Dame, eye test, football judgment. So I think they football judgment and the shit out of that. So because it gives them an out. And then my whole thing is, like, SMU 13, BYU 14. Just put BYU at 13 and then SMU at 14 because they played each other and BYU won the game, and then people wouldn't be able to bitch about that. So in that situation, I was like, why put SMU at 13 and BYU at 14? And then, but on the other side, Ole Miss is one above Georgia because Ole Miss beat Georgia. So are they going head to head in that situation, but not SMU, BYU? So there's no winning with this committee, as we've talked about, but in like those 2 situations, like they went both ways. So that in a couple weeks, if it's a head-to-head versus an eye test or a football judgment or whatever, they can say, hey, in the past we've ranked them this way. There's no, I don't want to say there's no rhyme or reason to it, but there's a lot of
Tony.
They give themselves a lot of outs, which I think is smart.
I love the fact we talked to Coach Dan Mullen yesterday, who was awesome on the show.
Great. The man.
We need to get him on the show more. He
Absolutely.
was even, he gave different answers for basically the same question a couple different times. So I appreciate that's good TV. That's good TV. Stanford Steve, to your point though, Tone sent me this text message because we're going to try to have him on the show, but he's got like 14 jobs.
Sure.
So we couldn't have him on.
Thanks, Classic Steve.
Try to have Herbie on. He's in the middle of NFL calls. Try to have Greg McElroy on. He's traveling back.
It's busy, Greg, man.
Everybody's working, but we're getting texts now.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Herbie sent me a text. Herbie goes, I wish I was here right now for this conversation. Great convo. And I go, want a quick FaceTime? He goes, Browns call starting right now. All right, so he's out.
Well,
Stanford
they don't matter.
Steve. Stanford.
Yeah, you
big
tell.
Thursday night matchup. AFC North.
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it.
Huge Steelers Browns on Thursday night. We will talk about that here in a matter of moments. But Stanford Steve sent me a text. He goes, they have to be using strength of schedule to rank the 2-loss SEC teams because Bama has the best, then Georgia, then Ole Miss, then Tennessee. Bad year to play Kentucky and Mississippi State in the SEC because you play them close. Not great. The question that should be asked is what happens if Indiana wins? Is Ohio State out? Okay, made a big deal of Jordan Travis' injury last year. Will they take into account the fact that the Buckeyes lost their left tackle and now they've lost their starting center because he tore his Achilles in the middle of practice? Now, quarterback position is vastly different, but this Ohio State team could look different without this guy as their center. Let's go to a 12-year NFL veteran, former Remington Award winner, center for Penn State. This is a massive loss for Ohio State, and if they do lose again, so they lose to Oregon, and then they lose to Indiana. They're not in the Big Ten championship game because Indiana will go against Oregon. 2 losses. How does that get with the injuries at the offensive line? How does that all? Could you imagine Ohio State's left out of the 12-team playoff?
Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Actually couldn't.
There's a chance that happens. Now, granted, they've been hosting a playoff game, I think, for this entire time. There's a chance that that'll. AQ Shipley, how big of a loss is Seth McLaughlin to this Ohio State Buckeye team, formerly at Alabama, now at Ohio State? And what are your thoughts on how the Big Ten kind of shapes up? And Indiana has a real shot at beating this Ohio State team this weekend. I don't think a lot of people in Ohio think that.
Yeah, this is a big loss. Speaking of the Remington Trophy, he's probably still going to win it even after this injury, which is crazy.
Okay, which is what? The best center in the country?
Best center in the country. He's the favorite to win it. This might affect it, but it really shouldn't. But the good news is we know he transferred from Alabama, right? The guy who started every game at center last year for the Buckeyes is now back in. So a lot of experience, so it's not going to be as big a loss as we think. Indiana can win this game. They're a very good football team, and I think that's what a lot of people are forgetting. They just think it's same old Indiana going to go in and get.
I think in Ohio, people are thinking that.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's like the Ohio State people are like, we lose to some West Coast Oregon team, and then we lose to basketball school Indiana.
Right. No.
That'll be loud, especially with the conversation about the amount of money that was spent on the team and everything like that. Now, granted, there's other teams we have learned now throughout the season that are like, Ohio State, 20 million, that's a lot.
Best team ever.
We got 30 million in our team. Like there is a lot of that chatter potentially happening around the place, but it's like this game has a lot of eyes on it and also setting precedent now for the future of this 12-team playoff and then for the 14-team playoff whenever it plays out. And who would have thought Indiana would be one of those teams? It's truly a magical time for this Hoosiers team. They can do it.
Yeah, we're assuming Curtis Work goes out there and plays, right? You think?
I don't know.
Is that confirmed or But what? So what's Ohio State's their best wins? Obviously Penn State, obviously close loss to Oregon. So what's their strength of schedule if they were to lose this game? So how realistic is them falling out? Because Mullen kind of brought it up yesterday.
Well, they just beat a good Northwestern.
Great team,
Beat a tough Iowa team earlier in the year.
Barely beat Nebraska.
Well, hey, at that time, though.
Yeah,
that was Nebraska's first time showing championship mentality.
Yeah, so, the thought, though, is...
How far do they fall? Like
that's Stanford Steve's question. Hey, Indiana beats Ohio State. If we look at the way they're talking in this room, now Ohio State has that tradition and pedigree, and the Chip Kelly's there, Ryan Day, the amount of people that are there that have great history of being good at college football. I think that goes into the conversation as well. Caleb Dahn's obviously one of the best players in football is there. Jeremiah Smith, who they tried to give an ankle lock to last week, is on the team. It's like whenever they start going through like who deserves a spot, who doesn't deserve a spot, will they just say, strength schedule my ass, look at the roster? There's a chance that happens whenever they have to make the entire bracket as well. It just never stops. It's crazy. It literally has a chance of never stopping in this entire thing.
If they do get beat by Indiana too, that will legitimize Indiana to all the people in the nation and like outside of the Big Ten who think they just stink, because it'll kind of be like a Georgia situation. Like you'll look at Ohio State, and it's like, okay, well, their 2 losses are against number 1 Oregon, and potentially, depending on what would happen in the polls, either like a number 2 Indiana team or at the time 5. So it's tough to imagine that they would get left out with their 2 losses being the 2 top 5 teams.
Yeah,
but
Indiana wins, they'll probably get up to 3 or 2.
Yeah, you would think. So it's tough. Now, if they get absolutely embarrassed, if Indiana,
Ohio State?
Yeah, if Indiana goes out there and wins by 3 touchdowns, then maybe that's
Nobody
something.
has mentioned that.
No. But shit, anything can happen. I mean, we've seen this. And it just you never know.
IU might go to 1 if they win. Now, because Oregon beat Ohio State at home by what? 1 point, 2 points, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Indiana goes on the road, beats Ohio State at Ohio State. You'd argue that is a better win than what Oregon had over Ohio State. And then there's a chance IU could be the number 1 team in the country.
Which Signetti on that recliner.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
11-0.
God. And I think then he would maybe. He'd probably still. Hey, job's not done. They put a 1 next to our thing. We had no number next to our thing at the beginning of the season. Who cares? I'll tell you who cares, Sig. The entire state of Indiana. The entire state of Indiana had no hope that Indiana would ever be. Not even a thought. It's not even hope because it's like, why would you? Why would you even think or waste any energy in thinking that the Hoosiers are going to be a good football team? And now all of a sudden with 12-team playoff, multiple bids from the Big Ten, it's like this is now the expectation going forward, and he's going to have to re-recruit an entire team because he's got a lot of vets, a lot of winners on this team. And once again, I would like to send a little bit of a a possibility into the universe here. Noon game this weekend.
Yep.
Indiana, pretty close drive to Columbus. There might be a lot of Hoosier people at that college game day.
Better be.
So that's how Connor feels, obviously. There's a chance.
There will be.
There is a shit ton of Hoosier people at that college game day. And however you feel about, studio shows or whatever you judge or call college game day, it's like the national college football world watches that. So if Indiana takes over college game day in Columbus and then they beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe, it's like all of a sudden the Indiana thought is like, whoa.
Yeah, we were wrong.
Wait a minute. This is all of a sudden because fan base real, obviously, because they just traveled and showed up, and then team still real. Now, there is very much a chance that they get outclassed, outmatched by Ohio State at Ohio State.
For sure.
I mean, that is very much a possibility that everybody's talked about. But Curtis Rourke, Signetti, Elijah, the boys, they're heading in there very much believing that they are capable of beating Ohio State. And I think they have a belief like, why not us go win this entire damn thing? And that's a powerful thing whenever you're at this time of year, especially with the opportunity in front of them.
Yeah, and with the Big Ten championship being in Indianapolis, like you are adding a home game, and it just happens to be for a bye in the college football playoff. Like I assume the reason the projections on Get Up this morning that Ohio State wins the Big Ten is 64% is because even for Ohio State.
No, they didn't say win the Big Ten. They said get a first round bye.
Get a first round bye, okay.
Yeah, which was my biggest issue.
Which
it's
is
like you don't get a bye.
You have to win.
You have to win the championship because I think that is the part where.
Yeah, my assumption is that that's what they're projecting is like, okay, well, Ohio State is favored in the Big Ten championship then by 64%, whatever the line that would be transferred over to percentages. But like the Indiana thing is awesome. It's the greatest story in college football. What about like Notre Dame kind of setting this precedent for teams in like the ACC? So like if Miami is going to be a top 12 team the entire year, and then at the end of the year they lose their championship game, like does Miami not think like, hey, if we weren't in a conference, we would have a home playoff game and we'd be in the college football playoff no matter what?
Yeah, and for Notre Dame, I wonder when they're going to be kind of, I don't want to say forced into one, but they have been adamant that they'll remain independent.
Yeah.
Right? They have been very adamant. It might work out for them too, depending upon how this goes. But if they lose the Army, they're out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
There's no chance to even get to a championship game, even though they have lost. So it might end up being detrimental to their opportunity to make it into the playoffs. So there's just so much. College football is awesome.
It is.
We'll continue to chat about this. I believe, obviously, A.J. Hawk will be joining us. He's the Ohio State face, and I'll be excited to hear his take on it because, to Stanford Steve's point, Ohio State loses to Indiana. Where's their schedule have, any means to really stand on a table and say we deserve to be in there? Well, I'm not saying they're not one of the top teams in the country. I got nothing but respect for Ohio State and everything they built. I'm just talking about a committee of 13 people that have to make a decision on who deserves these spots and who doesn't. Georgia fans aren't happy.
No.
Georgia fans are pissed. Georgia fans move up. They're back in the college football playoff after a win over Tennessee, big win over Tennessee. And Georgia fans are like, this is a joke. What are we even talking about? Have you seen our strength of schedule? They're number one. They are the hardest schedule in all of football. And that's because the SEC, who does the scheduling, wanted Georgia in a lot of primetime games, right? They're the wagon. Georgia's the wagon. Saban's gone. We don't know what Alabama's going to be. Alabama's still always going to be good, but Georgia is the team. Preseason number one, they're going, here it is. And they're out of the playoff last week. They sneak in this week, and Georgia fans are like, what's the problem? Mm-hmm. What is the problem in this entire thing? And you look at the projected road right now for Ohio State, BYU, and then Boise State, and then they're in the semifinals of the national championship. Yeah. And if you're an Ohio State fan, you're like, all right, how do we just stay?
Take that.
How do we stay?
Beat Indiana.
Right where we are right now. Beat Indiana, but then
lose in the Big Ten championship.
Exactly. That's
the interesting part is like they talk about
no disrespect to BYU or Boise State. We're just telling you how Ohioans are thinking.
For sure.
But if they lose to Indiana, they go from having this road to potentially not even having a road in the entire. It's wild.
Because it's like Georgia fans are pissed, but like I think other fans are probably pissed too. It's like, think of Miami. It's like we lose one game potentially at this point. We win the ACC championship, and how are we rewarded? Well, you get a home game, but you're gonna play Georgia. So it's like it's one of those
or
things.
Penn State.
Yeah, or Penn State.
Or Penn State.
Or Penn State.
Or Penn State.
But either way,
I'm trying to figure out how we can get to number 5. I don't think there's a path.
5 is the spot.
5 is the spot.
5 is where you want to be.
Without a doubt.
Like, obviously, the first round bye, if you're banged up, which I assume everybody is good, winning the championship. But 5 is where you get a home playoff game. So the amount of money that you make off of that, gigantic. Get to put on a show for the world.
Yep.
Look at what our team has. And then you're going to have the 12 seed, which everybody is assuming is the lowest ranked conference champion.
Right.
Which at this point is BYU. Could be the Big 12 representative, but once again, final couple weeks here, anything
Colorado.
It could be Colorado, could be Arizona State, but they could end up being ranked higher than Boise. If Colorado goes on this run there with Shedeur, with Travis Hunter, with how their offensive line is turned around, with how their defense is turned around, whenever they eye test that team, it's like, wait a minute, this team has actually become pretty good. They have 2 Heisman finalists on this particular team. They might move up in the rankings, and then the Power 5 or Group of 5 champion is out of 12 again. So whatever the case, 5 seems to be
the sweet spot,
the money spot.
But however it shakes out, like I know this year, and obviously this is the first year with the 12 team, like any of these teams can be beat by anybody. Like I feel like in years past, when you had the LSU team with Burrow, you had those back-to-back dominant Georgia teams, you had some Alabama, Saban, like those teams. Like this year, any week, like one of these teams can go down. So like that's just gonna make this playoff this year, I think, gonna be probably one of the best runs we see ever.
Yeah, could you imagine if somehow this turns out and it's just 4 SEC teams in the semifinal?
Well, that's how the SEC fans are thinking.
Yeah.
The SEC fans are thinking, like, okay, so how about the first 2 teams from our conference that are left out? Greg Sankey will probably do this.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Sankey will probably go to a podium, and let's say it's Tennessee and Ole Miss somehow. Ole Miss is in right now, but let's say something happens, Ole Miss ends, or LSU, whatever. Greg Sankey would go, I would like to propose a game after this college football playoff. Tennessee versus 7 of the teams that made it in there. I would like to propose a game, Ole Miss versus 4 other conference people that made it into this best of college football 12-team playoff. Like, that's how the SEC feels. I think that's how they're going to feel forever. And I assume there's some Big Ten people that hate everything about that. They hate everything about that down there in the SEC.
We had that argument before the show. It's like there's so many SEC people that it's all SEC, and all the Big Ten people are like, just come up north in December. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, because
we're going to punch you in the mouth and see how that goes.
Kirby Smart, Coach Mullen, Saban, everybody from the SEC has gone like, all right, why don't you come on down and why don't you just come on down and play our
Come get some.
Just regular week 6, kind of blinders on. You're deep in the season, but the end of the season is, and you got to play Kentucky at night at Kentucky. Just Kentucky. Just not a team that's made it to our conference championship in a long, long time. You just got to play them. Oh, you squeak by it. Okay, cool. Next week, you got Tennessee in Rocky Top, okay? And Tennessee, by the way, isn't even
Yeah.
Not even.
Mid-tier.
And then the next week, good news. Stay in the state of Tennessee. You got Vanderbilt coming.
Yeah. They stink.
They absolutely stink. There's like nowhere to breathe, I think, in the SEC is how people say it. But then people look at Texas' schedule and they're like, well, how did Texas how did Texas sneak through an SEC schedule and not really do it? It's a never-ending cycle, which is why college football is full chaos and fantastic. Joining us now is the face of Ohio State, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk. AJ, Stanford Steve texted me. I don't know if you heard it or not. This is what he asked. He said, if Indiana beats Ohio State this weekend, is Ohio State toast? And then we started having this conversation. They'd have 2 losses to Oregon and to Indiana. And if Indiana beats Ohio State, they might be ranked. That might be the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country when it's all said and done. But they have 2 losses now, not in the conference championship. And now they get put in the pool of potential. I think that's what the pop.
Yeah, that's there good. It is.
The pool of potential to get into the CFP there. Who are some of the wins this year that we've forgotten about that Ohio State has had that somebody will stand on the table for Ohio State? And what are your thoughts on Indiana potentially, this being a must-win for Ohio State Buckeyes maybe?
Oh, I think everybody in Columbus and in Ohio knows that this is an absolute must-win for Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State's sitting there saying, okay, we could drop this game to Indiana and still feel good about their chances getting in the playoff. That's not even – I don't think that's what anybody is thinking about in Ohio right now. So, yeah, it's definitely a game you have to win if you want to find a way to get into the playoffs. But I don't – that's interesting. I don't know. Where would Indiana jump up to? What number do they go to? And
probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They'll probably be 2 or 3.
Okay.
And Tone even said maybe 1. Tone said maybe they're 1 because whenever you say common opponent, it would be Ohio State would be the common opponent. With Oregon, they go into Ohio State, depending on what the game is, obviously. But they go into Ohio State, beat Ohio State. Ohio State loses to Oregon in Oregon. So whenever you talk about common opponent, what matters more, what's harder, Indiana would have. Now, here's some Hembo stats about Indiana and Ohio State. Very, very good ones, okay? It is true, Hembo says, that Indiana has played the 106th ranked strength of schedule in America. Ohio State has the 28th, okay? Also true, if you were to think about it, Indiana and Ohio State have played 3 common opponents, Northwestern, Nebraska, Michigan State. And Indiana has performed better in those games than Ohio State has.
What does that mean? What does that mean, Hembo?
Well,
hold on.
It's funny you asked that question. Thank you.
It performed better. We all know what stats do.
Okay.
Yeah, continue.
Okay, well, thank you. You were actually helping mid-text here from Hembo. Ohio State versus the common opponents against Indiana. Plus 59 scoring margin, 90-31. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana, plus 103 scoring margin.
Holy hell.
144-41. Plus 418 yardage margin between those common opponents and Ohio State. Plus 576 yardage margin for Indiana versus those common opponents. That's 150-some difference there.
Gee, drastic.
Let's talk turnover margin.
Because that's a thing. That's how we determine which team is better.
Oh, someone's getting riled up.
Let's talk about turnover margin between Ohio State and Indiana versus common opponents. Ohio State versus Northwestern Nebraska and Michigan State, which are common opponents with Indiana, they're plus 3. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's winning football.
That's pretty good. That's really good football. Indiana plus 6.
Woo, double.
Holy, double.
Double it.
Yeah, double them. And then one of the key factors in this modern football is explosive plays. Need explosive plays.
Yeah.
Need to be able to take the top off this entire thing.
Chip Kelly, come on. There's no way.
All that money, $20 million bucks on anything?
Kidding me?
Common opponents, Northwestern, Nebraska, Michigan State. Ohio State has a plus 7 explosive play margin.
That's a lot.
That's pretty good.
It's great.
That's really good. Plus 18 explosive play margin for Indiana against the common opponent. So whenever you start talking about strength of schedule and football judgment and all that shit gets thrown into it. And it's like Indiana's got that 106 next to them. But whenever you talk about football judgment and how they performed in games, especially with a common opponent, it's like, wait a minute. is 13.5 way too many points for this weekend in the
You
horse.
might have just moved the line.
Yeah, what do they know? What do they know? What are the people that are always seem to kind of have their finger on the pulse, which is the people making the lines? What do they know that maybe Hembo doesn't? Because I think when anyone needs to know anything, they go to what do the gamblers do? What are the people that making lines? Because they are usually the most accurate. So what's happening? I must be in the twilight zone, man. What's happening? I don't get it.
Hey, listen, you don't need to get offended by these stats. These are just numbers, brother.
God.
These are past performances.
How stats are.
Oh, shoot the messenger.
These are past performances, brother.
Hey, beautiful thing is they get to play each other, so we don't have to care about any of those.
Yeah, got it. So we're on a talk show. Going to have to talk about it before it happens. You know,
Yeah,
can't
I
just
get
say
it.
we'll figure it out in between the lines. But
we will. But we will ultimately. Right?
Love it.
He's on it. I love it.
Yes, we will.
I didn't hear anything. All those Hembo stats, I'm not joking. You lost me halfway through. Like, come on now. What's the EPA, DYA, whatever? All the stuff people talk about.
These are just common opponents, brother. This is just judging the teams
That's
versus
good.
the teams that they
We get to
both
play.
played.
They get to strap it up inside the lines. They get to do it. It's going to be fun.
Okay, it's funny you mentioned the gamblers thing because Coach Dan Mullen telling us yesterday, like, hey, these coaches, they know what the fucking line is.
Yeah.
You'll be favored by 2 touchdowns. You're like, is there a matchup that I'm not seeing that these sports books are seeing? And then you're kind of going through film like, oh, yeah, they can't cover our guy. Okay, cool. This is where we're going to exploit this particular team. And then there's sometimes where you're a multiple score underdog and you're like, damn, okay, I thought this was more of a coin flip here. So I think people do have respect for the sports books. And inevitably, whenever this 12-team playoff gets put out, the teams that are left out versus the teams that are in, sportsbooks are going to put projected lines on what those games would be, and it would get used as a weapon for whoever gets left out. But common opponents, Indiana, Ohio State, up here.
Did Ward Manuel say they do that? Do they go through all the common opponent, every single little stat there is? Do they do that for real?
Football judgment matters, I think is what they said. And then he kind of gave a wishy-washy answer about valuing getting to the championship. He kind of gave an answer about we value it. If you looked in the past, it's like, well, we're not in the past, Ward. We're at a very different time right now.
Brand new.
And this bracket could look so different, AJ. We talked about it already ad nauseum. That first round bye only goes to conference champions, which has to be played for. So that's a game that has literally not even been set up yet. So that could all particularly change. So this is literally just a projection of what the college football playoff rankings have been given. It is not gospel. This is not everything. All of it can change, AJ. But if you're Ohio State, with the way it sits right now, I think
you like that spot, huh? You like this spot.
I think 5 is the right spot to be at.
What do they have to do to stay at 5? What do they have to do?
So you would have to get to the Big Ten championship and then lose.
Oh, we don't want to do that.
But then you have 2 losses. Are you still 5? Because then you might drop down to somewhere else,
6
like
or
a
7.
9 or an 8.
Yeah, because if Notre Dame keeps winning, you would assume they would probably slide in there because they don't have a conference championship either. So they kind of just.
So they won't have another loss on their belt. But like you guys win the Big Ten, all of a sudden you get a bye, and now you got potential Bama coming down the pipe at a neutral
And no
site.
home game either.
Right.
No home game either, yeah.
Yeah, no extra cash. So, I mean, I don't know if this is what it was supposed to be like or if we knew this was going to be the case. 5 is the spot.
Yeah.
That is where you want to be in this entire college football.
Yeah. The other question is how much do they value just getting to your conference championship, right? Because if they get to if Ohio State goes there and their only loss is to Oregon,
and then they lose to Oregon,
and then they lose to Oregon again, like they shouldn't move very much, but they could now move behind Penn State, and now Penn State goes into the 5 spot. That's the path. I just found it.
Which would punish a team for making the conference championship in the same conference as a team that they beat and didn't make the conference championship, which would piss off not just Big Ten people.
No.
That would piss off everybody in the country because it's like, I thought we were putting a premium on championships. That's why they get it. Anyways, college football, we appreciate you. 40 minutes on that.
Yeah. And we could go another 3 hours.
For sure.
It is. It's just a never-ending circle. It's awesome.
These production meetings on Friday for College Game Day, we get in there and we just start going through, here's what we're hitting, here's what we're hitting. And then we get to the college football playoff segment. And it's just like everybody puts their shit down. And it's like, here we go. You got everybody represented in there.
Mm-hmm.
You got old, you got young, you got the SEC, you got the Big Ten. I'm in there fighting, obviously, for the Big 12 on a regular basis. Like let everybody know. That's why the West Virginia thing on air happens, because I'm always like, hold the phone now. Hold it. One Big 12 team if West Virginia, who still mathematically can't get to the thing, wins, and then you got a one-loss BYU team that loses in the conference championship to that West Virginia team, you're gonna, even though they've been in the entire time, West Virginia's got to bye, obviously,
right?
Obviously, and then you're gonna kick them out, and then all of a sudden you hear yeah, we are. If they lose to West Virginia, they don't deserve. What did Penn State? And then that starts, and then the Big Ten starts, and then that whole thing. And you heard Feinbaum this morning. Oh, I guess Penn State's got a big win over West Virginia. I guess.
Boo-hoo.
Okay, fucking West Virginia. All right. It never ends, bro. But that segment on Friday, and obviously on air, you can't just have a 55-minute segment.
Sure.
Especially with having to cover all the college ball. But that could be the entire 3-hour show.
Yeah.
It is awesome in there listening to people that, you're talking about people that have been around college ball 50 years, 30 years, people brand new to it. Then you got Pete Thamel, who's obviously talking to people that are in there. That is an electric part of my life, that Friday morning when everybody's just going. And my biggest takeaway, which is what I've been doing a couple times here, is anybody can counter anybody with anything.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a dog chasing tail.
Yep.
It is a dog chasing tail, which is why it's so perfect.
But kind of on that note, the last 30 years, 20 years, however long, obviously we're talking about the conference championship games for good reason. What other big rivalry games are still out there for the last week? I know Ohio State, Michigan.
Indiana, Purdue.
Now Michigan stinks this year, but I feel like there probably had to be years past where either one of these teams were in the top 5 and they went and played this game.
They've been 1-2 before, yeah.
Oregon, Washington.
Well, somebody been playing the spoiler.
Texas A&M.
That's the only one that matters.
Texas A&M, Oregon, Washington, Indiana, Purdue, which is a massive rivalry game. Purdue sucks this year in football, but that is a huge rivalry game, so they can play spoiler. Indiana loses to Purdue.
Oh, my God.
That'd be a spoiler.
Say they beat Ohio State. Say they beat Ohio State. Okay? Lose to Purdue. Still make it into the Big Ten championship. Lose to Oregon in Big Ten championship. They're right?
They might be.
Beat Ohio State.
You can't be losing to Purdue.
They can't.
Don't even need that to be put out there.
Exactly.
Tony, you said which one matters the most? Texas A&M, or Oregon, Washington?
Texas A&M, because the winner goes to the SEC championship. Unless I'm wrong about that, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Because Oregon's gonna blow Washington out, so that doesn't.
Well, Texas A&M got Auburn at Auburn this weekend.
Yeah.
Coach Elko already talked about that. It's all right. Let's get off college ball. Let's go to the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. We're incredibly lucky every single week to have a guy join us that's Super Bowl champion and played for 12 years in the NFL. He was a coach. He's a player. He's seen it all, done it all. Let's go to some takeaways from AQ Shipley of Week 11 of the NFL season. AQ, what are some things we need to be talking about after Week 11?
Taysom Hilling. Let me say something first, right? So he played 35 snaps in the game. There were 61 total plays on offense, 58 of them if you take away the 3 kneel downs at the end. 9 snaps at wide receiver.
What?
9 snaps at quarterback.
What?
8 snaps at tight end.
What?
3 at running back and 5 at fullback.
Do you think Coach Rizzi said, hey, what happened? We used to use this guy everywhere. It's obviously an uptick in Taysom Hilling.
They gave this guy a mega deal a couple years ago, and he's literally playing, 5-6 plays a game? It's like, what are we doing? Let's let this guy do what he does.
And he absolutely does. We got some film to watch here.
We do. We got some plays. So the first play, we got the end-around pass, right? This is in the first quarter. They go to him, and he throws 35-yard pass. He had another pass later. It wasn't the best, but still, we get it. Then we go to the second play, and he's at quarterback, right? We're just going to run off the right side. They motion Derek Carr out to get somebody out of there, run through 5 people, go all the way to the end zone.
That's just a power without a fullback,
That's
right?
all it is. It's just a downhill run, power without the pull, and we are going.
Got it, okay. Which is tough to block because man on man there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's man on man. The key was motioning Derek Carr out, got the edge defender out of there. When they did that, there was a guy on the edge that went out. He's the guy that comes in and misses the tackle because Taysom Hill's a tank.
So once again, Taysom Hill resets the math.
Yes,
whenever you have a quarterback that does that.
You can't account for him. He's the one guy you can't account for. What do you notice here? He's at running back. We're just going to hand the ball off on the inside zone weak. Hand it off.
Awesome.
Hand it off. Runs up, gets 10 yards. No big deal,
That's
right?
a standard run right there.
It's just a standard run.
Just treat him like a running back.
Treat him like a running back.
Okay.
But he's in there, right? So you got to count. It's like, why is he there? Is he gonna throw it? What all can he do out of that, right? The last one. Check this out. We're gonna send him in motion. See him come in motion? Play action. Oh, nope, he's not gonna block. We're gonna run a middle screen to him. Middle screen up the middle. They used him in so many different ways. Literally, he's blocking at fullback for Kamara in this game. He's playing backside tight end and just cutting off the backside on a run play.
It feels like that's old school Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
Dennis Allen didn't like it.
Apparently not.
Is that what the case was? And Riz comes in there while he's taking his pregame dump, and he's like, I haven't seen in a while. Taysom Hill. And then they're just utilizing him, getting some big wins. Might be too little too late, obviously, down there in New Orleans. But it is good for football to see Taysom Hill back. What's the second talking point you think we should be chatting about?
We got Pittsburgh's Men of Steel, the Steelers' defense, right? I got some stats.
Okay.
I got some stats from Hembo. Let's take a look at it, right? So early downs, the Steelers blitzed the Ravens more than anybody else in the NFL. Every time they play the Ravens, early downs, they blitz them. So they're trying to get after them, cause Lamar to be uncomfortable in the pocket. You get Herbig here, great rush, make him uncomfortable. Always making him uncomfortable. Later downs, third down, they go all zone coverage. So now they make him beat him throwing the football. But check this out. They try and block T.J. Watt with the card. One-on-one with their card. Can't do it. You get that. Look at that. You got no chance. You got no chance. What are we doing here? That's one of those things where you don't just run your plays. We got a game plan for a guy. You got one of the best on the other side. Then, on this one, check this out. We're going to blunt Mike Sam blitz off this side. Affect him. Get in his way. Make him uncomfortable. That is what the Steelers did the entire game, and that is how you affect Lamar Jackson. Check this one out. We're going to run another little blitz. Pressure. Cam Hayward is having a year, too. He had 2 batted passes, pressed the pocket, pushing Linderbaum all game long. I mean, he had a heck of a game.
He just got a new deal, too, right, Cam? Didn't he get a new deal before the season?
Yes, he did.
I think it was a big conversation. Congrats to Cam having a great one.
Mm-hmm.
What did Hembo say is why the Pittsburgh Steelers have had so much success against Lamar Jackson? They blitz early, get him pressure.
Blitz early.
And then on third down, they're zoning.
And they're constantly pressuring. They're playing zone coverage on third. Make him beat you throwing the ball. They affect it early. They blitz. And here's the key. They got 2 guys on the inside, and Benton and Hayward, that press the pocket. That's one thing that a lot of teams do. They got edge rushers, but if they don't have anybody in the middle pressing the pocket, you can't do it.
Well, then you run them into Herbig and
Exactly.
TJ and Preston and the whole boys there. They're talking about, Baltimore maybe having a little bit of a yip situation with this Pittsburgh Steelers team. They play very good against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, is this a situation like Jalen Hurts that Bosa had last year where it's like, hey, this is the book on Lamar, like he can do this, or is this a different
type? It's been for years now. How come? I wonder how come nobody else is doing what's.
They can execute the book. That's why, AQ. Everybody can't execute that. That's a good thing too. If you can get into third and medium, third and long, and you play zone, guess what you have? You have your eyes on the quarterback. You're breaking on the ball. You can see he's going to be less likely to be able to pull it down and pick up 15 on 3rd and 14.
Here's the other thing too. When you blitz him on 1st and 2nd down and make him uncomfortable and give him a little happy feet, make him always try and escape the pocket, guess what that does on 3rd down? Makes him think. Makes him think there's going to be pressure. And now he's like a little happy feet. Now his eyes aren't where they're supposed to be. And you saw him. He missed 5 or 6 throws.
Start watching that rush.
Bingo.
And when you have a guy like T.J. Watt, you don't have to blitz a lot because that is it's a one-man blitz. So, that helps the book a lot.
And Pittsburgh Steelers going to win a Super Bowl?
I hate their offense.
What?
Why?
No,
Why?
That's not what you
What
said.
do you hate?
You said absolutely not.
That's exactly right. I think you could have interpreted what I just said there.
What do you mean you hate their offense?
I
What do you hate about
I think Russell Wilson's a 50% passer. I think he.
Whoa!
I think their offensive line is just average. I just do. I don't know what you want me to say.
All right, well, hey, Steelers can prove him wrong. Okay?
They can.
Hey, go do that, Steelers.
They're winning because of their defense.
Go do that, which is Pittsburgh Steelers football, but their offense looks not as incapable as it has in the past, which is why I think a lot of Yinzers are zeked up about this year. Speaking of zeked up, what's your final talking point, AQ Shipley?
Josh Allen has big MVP energy.
Okay.
Hey.
What a game he had. They won the game because of him, obviously. But let's just take a look. I got a couple throws and then obviously the run that won it. Let's take a look at this throw. This ball can't be thrown any better. We're going down the sideline, fade ball, one-handed pass, or one-handed catch. Unbelievable, right? Now we go to the next one. This is unbelievable. They get cover 0. They blitz 7. He sees it, checks to it. They get the little stutter and go on the outside. Can't throw it any better than that. Drops it into a bucket.
Just met that guy 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
That's Amari
unbelievable.
Cooper right there. Just met that guy.
Game changer, actually, right? So now we get a little orbit motion with the running back behind on the game-winning play, right? We got a mesh concept trying to screw everybody up. This ball was only going to do one thing. He was going to run this. This was never going to get thrown. He said, I am running this football and winning the game.
Before the snap, you're saying?
Yeah, I think as long as that pass wasn't there right away, I'm running it. It's either, boom, somebody's open, which nobody is right away, boom, I'm running it.
He's so big, so fast.
That's right.
And he talks so much shit.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is never won an MVP, right?
No, never.
This could be the year, huh?
He's playing the best he's ever had. He really is. I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio, way better than it's ever been. I mean, he's normally gunslinging it like Jordan Love, 11 and 11, and it's like he's playing unbelievable.
I mean, he has the best odds right now, plus 150. Lamar Jackson right behind him. Is Lamar Jackson going to bounce back after the Pittsburgh Steelers game, which we assume he'll be able to do? Plus 650 there, Jared Goff. That's because he threw 5 picks in one game.
Yikes.
With what's happening there. Some people said take him out of the discussion completely.
Can't win
all together. Get him out of there.
Can't win it.
He was plus 4,000 a week ago after that game.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so whenever we talk about sports books, maybe ride and wave a little bit. I think that could certainly be a part of the convo. Patrick Mahomes, if the Chiefs remain the Chiefs, we all assume that he has an opportunity to win the MVP. Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert. Hey, hold on now. Hold on now.
Big game this week.
Yeah, and they got a lot of big games coming up.
Yeah.
If they win them all and Justin Herbert continues to do the shit he's been doing with Harbaugh as his coach, that's not a bad little sprinkle there.
Yeah.
Plus 25 hunch. You can get some good numbers there. Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud round up the list of the odds. MVP is obviously beautiful. We have a guy who's voting on that. Let's go to Hammer. AP Tone. How many people are in your pool right now for MVP, and do the sports books have it exactly how you have it?
They do. I have 3 in there, and they have the exact same 3 that I have in there. Josh Allen's been unbelievable. And then, for Lamar, I mean, his stats are unbelievable. And, one bad game for him, and then Jared Goff 2 weeks ago, one bad game. I'm not going to drop the guys out because they've had one bad game here or there. That's going to happen. But as of right now, I see this as a 3-headed race for the MVP.
Well, good luck to you for all your votes that very much matter for legacy and bonuses.
All of it.
That guy.
Yeah. The cowboy.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Tone.
Thank you for your service, Tone.
Thank you, Tone.
Did you just thank yourself?
Yeah.
That works.
I love that.
Yeah.
Move.
I love what you're doing there, Tone. All right, appreciate you, man. AJ, I don't know if you saw, there was an article about the New York Jets in The Athletic.
Oh yeah, I did peruse that.
All of a sudden, there's some new sources potentially available after a firing takes place. And it kind of laid out this one particular meeting that happened after the Jets end up being 2-2. Is an all-hands-on-deck meeting, and iced out Woody, Ambassador Johnson walks in. And I guess one thing led to another. You got special teams coordinator in there, offense coordinator in there, head coach in there, GM in there, president of the team in there, other advisors in there, consultant in there. It's all the heavy hitters of the New York Jets organization, allegedly via source Joe Douglas, to the Athletic, allegedly, maybe, potentially, possibly. And in there, Woody Johnson actually said, we need to bench Aaron Rodgers. It's 4 games in a season. He's holding us back. One of the people in the meeting actually laughed and said, oh, okay, you're being serious right now. The dysfunction over there might lead to the curse that we think about, but the more we learn, the more I'm confused about how this is an NFL operation. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is the one being blamed for all of this thing, but now we're learning after week 4 he was potentially getting benched, AJ. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was hilarious reading that, and then some coach saying, "Hey, was that for real? Was he trolling us? Was he messing with us?" But like every great organization, it comes from the top, like the top down, good or bad. I think that's where you go and look at the way Bill Belichick has been speaking about the Jets and Woody. That's all you really. I know that's how he feels about Woody, I guess.
Not just Bill, and obviously Aaron. I've never talked to Aaron about Ambassador Johnson. I think I will now.
Yeah,
I think
we might have to.
I will try to bring that up. But other people who have been at the Jets organization talking about Ambassador Johnson, this guy's real handsy.
Real
handsy.
Too much.
And he doesn't know. It's like, well, we'll see. Haven't won yet. See if they're able to do it in the future. Full restart over there in New York. I'm excited to see what it looks like. Now, hour 2 with JJ Watt, AJ, and the boys will be great. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could, so we're splitting it.
Okay, so Belle Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts?
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, $100,000 for you, $100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs? So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh my! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this, Henry! That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bell! Dude! Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest! College football's amazing! Bell, you just won.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts right now. Football is amazing. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Table is here. At Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes, sir.
You look super cool today.
Appreciate you too, bro.
That hat's a good hat.
Hey, those shoes?
Damn green,
What?
brother. These are the Oregon Ducks.
Still nice specials?
Yeah, well, I think they're the
Gordon Bombays.
Oh, those are sweet.
Yeah, these are the ones they gave me whenever I was out there. And the color of the green, it's not hunter green. It's not any other green, forest green, nothing. That's damn green is what that is. Because whenever Dan Lanning was allegedly going to Alabama and he was asked about, did you think about whether or not the grass was greener in other places? He said, the grass is damn green in Oregon. And that's the only thing I care about, which is why whenever his name starts getting floated for NFL teams, I'm like, guy feels pretty committed to this Oregon team. Yeah. And with the way they're set up and with the way the squad is, not saying he won't. I haven't asked him straight up, but everything about him is college football coach. Did you see this documentary they put out yesterday about Wisconsin?
I did not see all of it, no.
You become a believer quick whenever, because you're seeing the access they're giving people is more than everybody else. We're in an access world right now. We're in a content-driven world. We're in all of these things where we're seeing more, we're learning more to the conversation we just had about everybody. But like what Oregon's doing with these like weekly 14-minute documentaries is brilliant. And it showcases Dan in the team meeting, the motto that he's setting for the week, them executing it, and then watching his team buy in to it all. And then they obviously, he explained Pavlov's dogs to the team. And basically the Pavlov's dog that he wanted his team to feel was, when you hear jump around, everything gets heightened. Everything gets amplified this week. And then they ran it all week. So that Camp Randall jump around thing, whenever they showed the clips that they had from the sideline, the Wisconsin players were just standing there. Been there, done that. We've experienced this. The entire Oregon team, other than Dylan Gabriel was standing there looking like an absolute serial killer because it was 4th and 9 on the other side. So he's standing there. But everybody else on the team, coaches included, are jumping and like excited. They're like, here it is. The team actually says, here it come, here it come, here it come. And then it literally hits. And they're down 7. You're not being bummed, not being scared. Like, look at this. The whole team starts going.
Awesome.
Yes, exactly. And it's like the thumbs down gladiator mentality that they had against Michigan, against Ohio State whenever they had to get a massive win. It's like every week Lanning has these boys buying in. And you can tell a tight team whenever you get a chance to watch them and how they operate behind the scenes and the things they say about each other. This team, the way they talk about each other, look at that entire, and then look at the Wisconsin kids. Just kind of hanging out.
Oh, shit.
Okay. Yeah, it like worked the complete opposite. It feels like it legitimately worked.
Smart move. But hey, it's just like the coaches, the good coaches say, hey, it's just energy. It's up to us, like how we use it. It's true. Like they decided to take this. It's pretty cool. This actually kind of happened organically. The first time I ever played there when I was at Ohio State, we didn't know anything about jump around. At least I didn't. All of a sudden they did this between the 3rd and 4th quarter. And I remember our whole sidelines went crazy and our coaching staff like, this is awesome. So they actually worked about it and thought about this. This is pretty cool.
Obviously the duck bringing a pogo stick for jump around.
Good move.
The brain on this damn duck is awesome. But I love watching that type of stuff because you get to see how the sausage is made. You know, this is how a team gets to bond, and they have everything out there in Oregon that you can need to win. You know, they're building a brand new facility. Gumpy, were we allowed to say that? That was already been announced, right, Gumpy? That they're building.
They're always building facilities, right?
Yep.
We have pictures of what it looks like.
Unbelievable.
We're not gonna. I don't think we're allowed to showcase that.
Well, I mean, you might as well.
You're talking about UFO. It looks like.
I bet.
And it is.
I mean, that place that place they have now is already beautiful.
Yeah, the current facility is gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, they're building a new one, indoor facility with like everything on it, and the amount of money that they're investing not only into facilities but also players and uniforms and everything you could possibly need. It's like Oregon's sitting isolated in a nice little island of relevance in the college football world. 4, I think. I think you just say that. So if Dan Lanning was to leave that, I think it would have to be a very, very, very good spot. And I don't know how many of those there are whenever they're looking for a new head coach.
No, because now, like, it used to be USC, and, like, obviously they recruit nationally, but, like, now all the best players on the West Coast, California especially, like, those guys want to go play at Oregon. You know, it's like USC's 5-5 this year.
I do wonder if he's pitching as like, hey, it's West Coast versus this is how this
goes. It kind of is.
They think we're soft over here on the West Coast, and we got the facilities, we got the money, we got the opportunity, and we get a chance to go take on everybody that thinks they're tougher than us every single week in this new Big Ten. It's a cool thing. It is a very cool thing. Speaking of cool things, there have been semifinalists announced for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah.
I didn't make it.
What?
No.
3rd straight year, I didn't make it to the semifinal.
Come on.
It's all right. A lot of Colts on there, though. Congrats to these guys.
Hell yeah, boys.
Congrats to these guys. Adam Vinatieri, potentially the first ever first ballot kicker going in to the Hall of Fame. Reggie Wayne, obviously a semifinalist. He's been up a couple different times. Robert Mathis now gets his opportunity to knock at the door in Canton to see if he can get in there. Marshall Yonda, I think every human that has ever watched football or offensive line football would say that's a first ballot. AQ, am I talking out of pocket?
No, 100%. As soon as I saw this list, he was the one guy I was like, got to get in.
Same here. Me too.
Yeah, I think everybody respects the shit out of Marshall Yonda. He'll show up with a 34-inch waist, too, to go into that Hall of Fame. But you look at the names on here, some years for the Hall of Fame, it's not a lot of people that we know. It's like old days. No, we appreciate them, everything they did for the sport, but not as relevant names. This one's packed with people that we know, and obviously that's only going to continue. You look at James Harrison up there. You look at Vince Wilfork up there. You look at Torrey Holt, Anquan Bolden. You're talking about household names. Fred Taylor. Hey, let's go, Fred. Let's go, Fred. I'm pumped up about I just saw that for the first time, Fred. I apologize for not knowing that until we got live. But Hines Ward, everything he did for the city of Pittsburgh. I mean, he was quarterback at Georgia, turns into a wide receiver. What he does. Is that accurate, what I just said?
Yes, it is.
Him and old buddy who's quarterback for Antoine Randall. They had two quarterbacks in college play wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, have massive success rate there. I was like, no way. It is both of them. But there's a lot of great players on this list, and obviously incredibly honored to make it to semifinal.
I mean, this is why it's the best of the best. Like all these names, obviously have had careers that are worthy to be Hall of Famers. I think I got maybe 7 former teammates on here, but like the backup at wide receiver is crazy. I think Torrey Holt should have been in. Obviously, Reggie Wayne and what he's done in the postseason throughout his career. Manning, I think he'll be a first ballot, which would be a conversation, which would be a debate amongst anybody who's talking about it. But I think he'll go in. Kuechly's probably be in that conversation as well, with Patrick Willis going in first ballot. But all these games, obviously Robert Mathis, he leads the league in forced fumbles all time. Fred Taylor, you talk about all these names, man. Just great ball players.
AJ, tell me about Luke Kuechly a little bit, because I don't know if the fanfare is big enough because of how, played in Carolina. They make it to a Super Bowl, obviously. He makes it to a bunch of Pro Bowls, a bunch of All-Pros. But Luke Kuechly off the field is not like, hey.
Yeah, quiet.
It's me.
He's pretty unassuming.
Yeah,
he's an unassuming, unassuming, super smart guy if you ever speak to him or ever hear him talk. But he was a rare combination of physical tools, even though some people might look at it and not think he's the nastiest linebacker out there. But he was. That dude could absolutely fly, and he is just off the charts smart, and football smart, and his instincts were ridiculous. He's calling stuff out before the offense is even running it. He was a step ahead, I think, at all times.
He was smarter than you guys, huh?
He was. I mean, honestly, we would call protections. I remember they would run a lot of double A gap linebackers, and I remember pointing him as the mic, and he would know what the protection was, and you'd see him. He'd start doing all these signals, flipping blitzes,
and you knew.
Yeah, you knew, but some of it was he was definitely flipping it, and some of it was just to get us to flip the other way. And then run something it was
Jeez.
He was constantly doing stuff like that. It was what is he doing? Trying to pick up on his signals, you can never figure it out.
He came in the league like that too, like how with Luck. I wasn't with Luck in training camp. I was actually in Carolina before coming over, and Luke coming in, we didn't know what we were getting. Coming out of Boston College, had 1,000 tackles, but all right, they had John Beeson, they had Thomas Davis, day one, you're like, oh, okay.
He's smart.
He's everything. And AJ mentioned it, the athleticism, and then obviously the brains. This dude used to, have the middle read and then come off and pick off and dig. He was 2 steps ahead of the game all the time.
Carolina Panthers, Steve Schiff Sr. also on there. Good for them.
Oh yeah.
Carolina Panthers, obviously, with a couple people making the semifinals of the Hall of Fame. That's big, exciting news, huh?
Yeah.
And Bryce Young starting to complete some passes. Yeah. That's good news. I told the story about Luke Kuechly introducing himself to us at the hotel at the Pro Bowl in the gift shop with a hoodie on and glasses. Had no idea who he was. Had no clue who he was. And then you tell me that's Luke Kuechly. Oh my God. How are you, Luke Kuechly? That is almost
Clark
just
Kent
so
vibe.
honest. It is Clark Kent vibe. Just casual, walking around, quiet. How you doing? Good to see you. Ba. Goes on the field, flips a switch, kills everybody. Just annihilates every human. Game over. Let's celebrate. Flip switch off. Glasses back on. Hey, how you doing today? Very good to see you. It was fun. A football game today. Goes on a football field. Fucking murder scene. Then goes off. It's wow. What a special talent Luke Kuechly was.
I don't remember if we actually ever put the clip out, but when we were in Atlanta for the Super Bowl, remember you sat down with him and we're just doing 2014 week 11 versus the Saints, and he was going through all 11 guys on the offense.
They're starters.
Yeah, exactly. Could still and you went to multiple different teams, and we obviously double checked it all. It's holy shit, that type of recall. I mean, we see it with Rodgers a bunch, but that was insane, especially for a guy who basically retired because of concussions. He's still incredibly sharp.
Yeah, and I think those super smart guys, the concussion thing, they take a lot more serious.
For sure.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. There's something about that. You're
Yeah,
right.
it's listen, I love ball. But this thing is really good.
One of one.
What? Yeah, really, really good. So I think
Can't get a replacement either. No, there's no brain replacement like there are knee replacement.
I told you I seen that one doctor in Italy.
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
He just took a body off, put a new body on somebody's head.
Head transplant.
Yeah, it was a head transplant. Well, I guess, or body transplant, depending upon
Either way.
how you look at it and who's what. Now, I don't know how they're able to just fuse everything back together.
It works fine.
But
You guys doing okay?
Yeah.
I didn't read the follow up. I knew they were going to do it. I didn't get a chance to see the follow up there, but that'd be sweet. Just 55, 60 years old, drop me in a 21-year-old body. All of a sudden, I'm jacked up. Now, rest in peace to whoever lost the body.
Sure, damn sure.
I am very bummed out about it.
Does it matter if the head matches the body at all?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
We're talking survival.
Yeah.
I'm 6'4", brother. Wait until you see what I can do. I might be back. Playing professional sports.
Yeah, going to the league.
All the wisdom, like imagine Peyton Manning at the age of 50 or something like that. Just let's get a body transplant. Gets 19-year-old, just
track athlete.
Yeah.
No, throw.
Nico.
I guess
gotta be able to throw.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to whatever happened. Has to obviously not be a body issue that killed him. Some brain thing attacked the body. Peyton Manning now is back in the NFL with a younger body than he's ever had, and because he knows all the decisions to make. If I just figure out these new arms, I could maybe play. That's what. Hey, science, figure it out.
Is that coming down? That's coming down the road.
What's that coming down the track? There's a chance. It's a new body, and boy, I'm back. I mean, that's awesome.
Can write into your will. Like, hey, give
That's
my body
Neuralink.
and pay him.
Neuralink's trying to do that.
Make him go to Tennessee again.
Did you see the Neuralink stuff? I guess blind people being able to see again.
Trying to get people to walk again. That's like their goal. If you're paralyzed, try to do whatever to turn on that so you can walk. That's nuts to think about.
Obviously, all the other things, there's there's very positive, and I love them. And if it's going to fix people's blindness and deafness and being able to walk again and live a full life, that's amazing. Now they got a chip inside your body that they control at all times, and they track everything you think and can make you think things. Like that's the.
Should I make this guy shit his pants right now? Watch this.
Yeah. I think today or tomorrow.
Yeah, 1 year anniversary, I guess. Crazy how time flies, huh?
Congratulations to your butt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1 year since he sharted live on air, which sharted is a nice way to describe pooping your pants.
I mean, essentially, I thought it was just a fart. We were having a great conversation with Chris Carter, and I was like, I don't want to, I can't get up and go take a shit. This fart should be just fine. I'll squeeze this out. Oh, yeah, nope. I'm going to have to go address this, yeah.
Happy anniversary to that decision being made.
Thank you.
Yesterday's poop conversation in the third hour certainly made some ripples. I got some text messages from people saying, you're flushing in between poop and wiping, pal?
You're polite. You're a polite human being. That's what you are.
Well, yeah, you guys have so much faith in these pipes. I don't know how you're putting poop and toilet paper in there and just being like, yep, this one's going to go. Yeah. No problem at all.
Do your job.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, get it done.
Very trusting.
Very trusting.
Get down there.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who said that if he ever clogs the toilet, he'll roll up his sleeves and grab that poop himself.
Dig his little fingies in there and pull it out.
Mush it up.
Yes, he will. And that's the type of guy he is. He even said that if he's not able to reach it, he'll actually rip the toilet off the ground, go into the pipe underneath, grab the poop, eat it.
Exactly. Put it back down.
And then throw it out the window.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
It's a good guy.
Yeah.
This is a Waltz Payton Man of the Year. This is a Ring of Honor member for the Houston, Texas Bull Ring of Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, future first ballot Hall of Famer, J.J. Watt.
Yeah, JJ.
Why has this turned into a weekly segment about feces? What? How did we get here?
Well, yesterday there was a full discussion about operation, protocol, how you go about doing your thing, and I found out that I'm a weirdo. I poop flush, then wipe flush, okay? That is my move.
In somebody else's house, absolutely. In your own house?
Oh. Don't trust their pipes.
Yeah, so you're saying look around, judge the person.
That's a precautionary measure to make sure that you have nothing. If you're in my own house, like you clog your own toilet, you just take care of it. You got a plunger, you take care of it and everything. But somebody else's house, you take every single measure possible to make sure you don't have a situation.
Which goes back to Josh McDaniels was supposed to be.
Exactly.
The Indianapolis Colts head coach.
That's right.
Should have had some good pipes. Should have.
Man.
If their pipes could have handled Jim Irsay going in there and wrecking shop after a great meal from Mrs. McDaniel.
Unbelievable.
One of the best.
Yeah.
There's potentially a chance that Josh McDaniels, the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, everything goes differently. Anyways, JJ, thank you for joining us, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Glad to be here.
How was Buffalo? That was awesome. Felt electrifying through the screen. That was a fun watch.
It was awesome, man. It was a really fun experience. Obviously, we're normally in the studio every week. CBS sent us out to Buffalo for the big game, and it was incredible. I see why you love game day so much, that atmosphere. Gave a little shout-out to you, tried to get the Buffalo crowd going, and they delivered. I mean, we were chugging beers. We had people showing up at 6 a.m. It was electric, and Buffalo fans, very, very similar to Wisconsin folks, and I felt right at home.
Go back to the beginning of that. You were talking about having a little crowd dance. You texted me and said you were going to do that, and I told you, you do not have to give me a shout-out. This is just classic crowd work, and watching you do it, I want to let you know, got me zeked up. Here's J.J. Watt with the Bills Mafia.
JB, this place is going crazy. They've already got it going on their own. I don't need to do anything. I've wanted to do this for a while. My guy, Pat McAfee, does it on game day every week. Let's go, Buffalo!
All right. Great execution by you. Great confidence by you. I think you could have done another "Let's go Buffalo" if you wanted to. I think you could have. At the end, you kind of cut it.
I forgot I had to keep it going. I thought my initial I thought they took it from there. And as they were responding, I reminded myself, "Oh shit, I got like a part in this. This is a back and forth."
Yeah.
And I didn't know how many "Let's go Buffaloes." I didn't know if there were other parts. I got lucky.
You nailed it. You didn't get lucky. You nailed it. And also, shout out to Bills Mafia for showing up. There's not a lot of NFL places. You talk about College Game Day, and I call them the greatest fan in all of sport. I assume you would like to argue for European football, soccer. You guys got 30,000 people, 45,000 people in the stands. Cute. It is fun. It is fun. 110, 109, 97, 92,000 people in stadiums here at college football, okay? So it is a little different conversation. Do respect the shit out of the hooligans over there. But you talk about like Buffalo, I think is a place you could go. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh's a place I think you could go. I think go to New England if New England's doing well. Yep. Kansas City, I think you could go to. Green Bay. Yep. I think you go to Detroit now. Philly. I think you could go to. Philly, Baltimore.
Seattle back.
Who's that?
The 12, Seattle.
Okay, not this year. You know that. You brought that up just to say that.
Asking.
That was rude. But Seattle did not deserve that. But if Seattle was all the way back, which they still are, very much in the middle of the entire race, I think there's like a third of the league that you could go to and would really show up. In college ball, it's like all these places are ready to go. And I'm the asshole if I don't know their stuff, as opposed to like wanting to do, it's like we're the bad people for not embracing their culture. Buffalo feels like that. I'm happy you guys got to experience. I saw you go through a table. Okay.
There's nothing like the live fans. There's nothing like the live atmosphere. Like it's electric, and it gives you that energy, that adrenaline, that passion. And it's just the best. I was talking to the guys on set, and I was like, I wish the players could somehow during their career experience a tailgate while they're still playing, because it just gives you a whole nother level of that appreciation for how much these fans care, how into it they are. We all know, we see it, we know it, we feel.
We think we do.
Just being in it's the best, man. There's nothing better.
We think we do. I think we think we understand the passion. Oh, they're loud. Yeah, if they're down, they get loud. It's like, no. Their entire lives revolve around this shit. Like, I think that is the thing that I've learned through College Game Day, but also since retirement, getting a chance to see how some of these people act and operate and tailgate. Like, I thought I understood passion, and I thought I understood the Yinzers were big Steelers fans. But then you see these people are taking pictures from their house and hanging them on the side of highways.
Oh my God.
And doing this. It's like, this is life for a lot of people. It's I thought you guys did a great job. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. There was some genitalia paraphernalia up there. That's become a standard up there. There was some interesting stuff on the sides of the road up there. But we had our guy Justin, who brought a portable speaker and a 12-pack and was sitting there since 7 a.m., which was great. Spent the whole day there. Tried to get him in the game. Didn't have any luck. It was a good day.
What?
Couldn't help him
You
out.
couldn't get the guy into the game?
I tried. Because we were going on the field for halftime, obviously do the halftime hit, and I was like, hey, I need this guy to come with me. Like, he's been here all day. He deserves it. He didn't have a ticket to the game. He just came out solely he said he walked 5 miles there in his overalls.
And I had to walk.
Posted up, and I said, "Can I bring him into the game with me? I want him on the field at halftime." And they were like, "Well, I mean, we had to get your credentials last week. You think we can get this guy into the game right now?" And I don't know. I was like, yeah, like if he's walking with us, why not? I mean, I got Bill Cowher, I got Matt Ryan, I got myself, Nate Burleson. Like,
this guy.
Apparently, it doesn't work that way. Apparently, there are restrictions on who's allowed close to Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. They don't want just anybody walking out there, I guess.
That makes sense. Hey, yeah, we got hundreds of millions of dollars out there and billions of dollars in the future. You think just, he walked 5 miles, chugged beers, yeah, that's the guy we want. That's the guy we want as close to Josh Allen as possible. Shout out to Justin. Can't do it without him, but Buffalo Bills need to make that right with him on the next home game. Hopefully, thank you for bringing him to attention. Chiefs Bills, awesome game this weekend. There was rivalries riddled throughout the Sunday slate in the NFL, which is obviously awesome. Let's talk about one that your brother was a massive piece of. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Steelers get another win. They were 3.5-point underdogs at home against the Ravens in this rivalry game. How did you expect it to go? How did it go? And what are your thoughts on where they both stand?
I mean, when you just look at it, like before the game, you look at the way the Ravens have been playing, the way they've been moving the ball, the way that they've been stopping the run. Like it's hard on paper to say that they wouldn't have a good day out there. But then you just take a look at the rivalry as a whole in these last 10 appearances, and I think this win made it 8-1 for the Steelers. It's truly one of those where they say throw out the record books, throw out whatever's happening. It's just an old school rivalry. That's what this game is. For some reason, the Steelers just have the number of the Ravens, whether that's seeing them every single week, 2 times a year, and knowing the scheme and knowing how to have a plan for it and react to it, whether that's one of those things where you get the yips against certain teams and you just can't perform the same way. Stadium, uniforms, you just see them and you get into a different mindset. I don't know. But the Steelers clearly have the Ravens number at this current moment, and they played an extremely good ball game, and nothing more AFC North than winning a game without scoring a touchdown.
Yep. Yeah, but Chris Boswell, 6-6. What a dog, especially as we look around the league and everything kind of becoming, I don't want to say question marks with kickers, but literally at the beginning of the season, we thought everything was going to go in. Now we understand that there's a chance every kick could be missed. I don't know if it's because guys are tired. I don't know if it's because weather's doing its thing. I don't know what it is, but Boswell is as true as the day is long, brother.
It's incredible. Obviously, I watch the Steelers games every week because of TJ, and this guy you never even question it. When he steps out there, you're like, yep, 3 points on the board. Does he deserve Offensive Player of the Week and Special Teams Player of the Week? What do we? I mean, that's a lot of points. It's a lot of points for one guy.
And it's a win in a massive game for a team whenever they needed it. And he had 3 50-plus yard kicks, I believe. It's not just like he had chip shots. We're talking 3 50-plussers in November in Pittsburgh. Not the easiest place to kick. And then on the other side, obviously, Justin Tucker's going through what he's going through with his swing right now. I'm excited for him to figure it out. They're saying maybe it's a long snapper, maybe it's hold, maybe it's new body. Every miss is to the left. You would think he'd be able to. I think he'll be able to figure it out. Come on, Tucker.
You got this, Tuck.
Come on, Tuck.
But to your
Best
point,
of all time, right?
Come on.
I mean,
I got Vinny.
I know Vinny. Like, is this I don't know kickers well enough. I know those are the two in the discussion. How does it shake out?
It is those. I mean, it's those two. It is. They're both Super Bowl champions too. Now, granted, Vinatieri has like more moments. If you were to think more massive moments in his resume, but he also kicked for 20-some years, so there's a lot of time that he was able to stay at a very high level, which I think we're watching right now with some of these kickers, and we're like, how was Vinny able to do this for 24 years or whatever the hell it was at that high level? His percentage is nowhere near what Tucker has been through the start of his career, so I think people will hold that against him. And also, the way Tucker has made kicks is just like down the middle. And I am a massive Justin Tucker fan, but it's like Vinatieri, he walked out on the field and he needed a kick. It's like, dude's going to make it. Yep. And I don't know what other things you need to judge off of. He's potentially first ballot kicker into the Hall of Fame. That's going to be a highly debated thing. Highly debated, JJ.
Why?
I guess there's some people within the ranks of old football that are like, look at that list. We're taking the spot for a kicker to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And then I think everybody else in the room with a brain is like, did you see what this guy has done? And do we need him to walk out here with his 6 Super Bowl rings and say, what are we even talking about here? So it's going to be a debate, though. It's going to be a big-time debate. If he was any other position, had the moments that he has, had the success that he had, obviously, let's say you can't play 20-plus years in another position. Let's say it's a long career, though, long-ass career. He'd be a first ballot, no questions asked.
Yes.
No questions asked. But at the kicker position, I guess there's still some positionism potentially.
But I mean, you have to judge him against all the kickers of all time too. Like there needs to be kickers in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt. And if you're gonna give a guy a first ballot, which kicker would it be? Him. Like that's what I don't understand is why we have those types of things. Like you can't judge him against like a quarterback or an Ed Reed or somebody like that. It's completely different. But when you talk about that. They always love that quote where it's like, can you tell the story of the NFL without talking about X? I mean, it's pretty darn tough to tell it without talking about Adam Vinatieri and everything that he's done and the success he's had. Obviously, a bunch of guys on that list are the same, but at his position, I mean, what are we just not going to put kickers in? Like, yeah, if he's deserving, should be a first ballot.
Hell yeah, Vinny. Hell yeah, Vinny. You've earned it, pal. You've earned it. Now, he doesn't know that because he's probably somewhere with no cell service for the next 4 weeks or something like that. But Adam Vinatieri, I think I can't wait to see his partying can. He's a good dude. Everybody likes him, too. Didn't see Shane Leckler on that list. Bummed out another year. We got a
Bummed out. Shane Leckler deserves to be in.
Agreed completely.
Punters getting screwed.
Well, Ray Guy got in, and that was a big deal. There was people pissed off about that, too. That was the first punter ever in, and there were some people that were openly mad about it. Shane Leckler, obviously, should be the second punter that gets in. Hopefully it'll happen another year. We shall see.
So are we just ignoring like that's part of the game? Like,
yes.
Like, there is, you can't play the game without like obvious. Like I'm not saying that there should be 20 of them in, but let's not. Like, there's only one ever that's belonged. No.
Maybe like 4 or 5,
still,
6, 7.
Let's be honest here. We're still
as a guy who's been nominated 3 times for the Hall of Fame, let's maybe open that window a little bit.
We're still talking specialists here. All right, let's go.
All right, James. Let's get back to the Pittsburgh Steelers conversation with Boswell, with how fantastic he is. Another AFC North matchup, another tough place to kick. Thursday Night Football against the Cleveland Browns. There's a little bit of sauce on this one because Myles Garrett, now we did not get to hear the clip. We read the quote late before the show, so we did not get to hear the delivery. You know, I think he said he didn't appreciate the way Tej acted about not winning.
That's right.
Defense Player of the Year. Maybe he should apologize to me. Is the quote written? We did not hear it. We are fans of Myles Garrett. We appreciate Myles Garrett, but it's a big one against the Cleveland Browns, and Myles Garrett and TJ Watt are a massive piece of the story. Let's go to some stats we got from Hembo, shall we?
Nice.
Disrupted dropbacks. Jage, when you hear that, what is your first thought?
My first thought is stupid stat. What does that mean?
Okay, so it is not a stupid stat, I will have you know. Just like AJ in the first hour of the show said, I don't want to hear common opponent's stupid stats either. Okay, this is a good one. Disrupted dropback is a stat that takes into account sacks, interceptions, batted passes, passes defended, and tipped passes.
Okay.
So disrupted dropbacks. Yep. They disrupt the play
Right,
immediately.
So it's real stats.
Feels like
not made up stats. Those are real stats that you can actually count. They're not like percentages or like pressures or.
Feels like it. From Hembo, feels like that's what it is. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt have been head and shoulders above everybody for the last 8 years. And then the last couple of years, Trey Hendrickson, also in the AFC North, has snuck his way into the statistics. But TJ obviously has a massive lead on this. He's a huge disruptor. How do you see this particular game going? And is it Myles Garrett and TJ Watt deciding who wins this game?
I mean, I think the first thing I would say about it is there's zero problem whatsoever with Myles Garrett. He's an unbelievable player. TJ has zero problem with him whatsoever. He thinks he's an unbelievable player. This has never been about Myles Garrett or if he's worthy or if he's a great player or any, like that is undisputable. He's a phenomenal player. It's more just about the overall system and the voting and things like that. That's what that was last year. Nothing, zero rivalry there with the guy. But I think this game, a lot of people are saying that this is a typical trap type game, coming off a massive win against the Ravens for that first place spot in the division, going on the road on a Thursday into the Browns, who aren't having the best year, but obviously it's still the AFC North. And I think I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think Tomlin's record on Thursday nights are great.
Now, in the division, against a division team on the road on Thursday night, not good. Not good.
Yeah, so like that's one of those things that all these things, you can't ignore all of this stuff, and you have to add it together. But there is something different about this Steelers team a little bit that it feels, even in that 11-0 team a couple of years ago, this team does seem to just feel like they kind of putting all the pieces together at the right time. We'll see, though. I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a good game. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, it's another good one on Thursday night, which we're pumped about. Go ahead, Age.
Jade, so AQ hates the Steelers offense. Can you try to tell us like why he should not hate this offense? He loves the defense, but he says this offense is just not his thing.
Jeez.
Well, what are his reasons? Well, take the glasses off, Grandpa.
Yeah, take the readers off.
I think you look handsome in those readers, AQ. You're good.
I appreciate that, AJ.
He has not seen you in the readers. You're okay.
I get told him some other people on X every once.
Who bubbles?
Who?
No, it's just every bald guy with a goatee.
Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah, exactly.
Who was that race car driver a couple years back?
Oh my God!
Stay away from there.
Spitting image.
It was AQ Shipley's face on this guy. He might have got a body. AQ might have got a body transplant. Race car driver on the bottom, AQ Shipley's head on top, and that guy said some stuff.
Yeah, stay away from that one.
He said some things.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
But yes, any bald stooge you do get compared to, just like any fuckboy white I get compared to. It's kind of a part of the game and the whole thing. And I think you do look good with the glasses. But you did say earlier, to AJ's point, I hate the offense. Are the Steelers going to win a Super Bowl? I asked you, I hate that offense. They're seemingly playing better than ever, Jage, which is what you're kind of saying. With Russell Wilson coming into his own, George Pickens is now who we thought he was. They're running the ball. Freiermuth is getting utilized in a fashion in which he hasn't been utilized offensively. What do you not like? It's just the offensive line you're worried about?
That's exactly it. I mean, I think Broderick Jones has a long way to go. And I mean, they keep asking him questions to Tomlin. Tomlin's sticking by him. Hey, we're going to ride with him. But it's consistently. And I think, they got young guys across the board. They've had a ton of injuries. That's not saying anything, but it is what it is. Everybody has injuries, and the guys that have come in, I just don't think they have the makings to go. And I think Russell Wilson, at the end of the day, is a 50% passer. He throws a bunch of moon balls, and you make some plays. But I think in order to win a Super Bowl, I don't think they have the offense to do so.
Yeah, I think he's strictly offensive line, because if you look at the team.
Do you think that the Ravens can win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think they have more makings. I do. I think they have more makings. I think they have one piece on their offensive line that McCarry that probably, they could have a better piece in there at that guard spot. But I think the other four are really good. I think their skill position's incredible. I think, the one thing that concerns me is the opposite, is the defensive secondary for the Ravens, right?
But I think AQ, Jage, here, his big take, and always has been this, you got to have a Super Bowl quality offensive line. Like, obviously, you have to have a championship caliber defense, which is a massive piece of the conversation as the season rolls on in the NFL. Because the offense steals the convo, but inevitably when the games matter, got to have a defense. Got to be able to have a championship defense. Nobody talks about it till late. AQ says nobody talks about the fact you need an offensive line. If you don't have an offensive line, you're going to get exposed at some point. I think that's your big takeaway for the Steelers.
100%. And I think the biggest thing, Jage, you can talk about this too. Like, the one thing that your casual fan doesn't understand is the difference between December and January football, right? And I think it always comes down, you can look at the Kansas City Chiefs every single year, and they have all these shiny trick plays, and they do all these things. But whenever they go in the playoffs, what do? They line up and they run power, and they smash you in the mouth, and they're trying to bury you and punish you on every single play.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I think the trenches are hands down underrated, especially when it comes to the national discourse about football and once you get later in the year especially. But I do think their defense, the game that I always keep going back to that the Steelers, if someone's going to give me pause, it's this one, was that Cowboys game where they had a chance to win the game and all they had to do was make a stop, basically 75 yards, and they didn't. And that's the one that I go back to where I say, man, that one's the one they didn't close out. But as they've gone on here, they have been closing these games out now. They've won, I believe, every game since that game. So I think their defense is that good. I think their defense is that good where they literally just won a game against a team that you yourself just said is a legitimate Super Bowl contender without scoring a touchdown. So now if they do start stringing it together, and you got to remember, Russ has only played a few games with this team. He's going to continue to get more comfortable and get better. Everybody's going to continue to get in sync. So you would imagine that offense is going to get better as they go. And the defense is obviously what it is. So you start to put those things together, and you have a kicker like Boz, who, even if your offense isn't producing, he will. It does have a recipe for some very strong results.
There's a road and a recipe for it, but when push comes to shove, if your offensive line can't win a game, you're not going to win the game. You can win a lot of games, but the game, it's probably going to come back and bite you in the ass. You think about Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl. Everybody was talking about that offensive line all year. This is not his best offensive line, not his best offensive line. And then when Super Bowl comes around, Todd Bowles goes bananas. And he's like, hey, here it is. And you remember Patrick Mahomes scrambling for his life. They almost won. But in the end, it was an offensive line question. And I think that's why we were...
So you're going Lions, AQ. I assume you're going Lions, Super Bowl champs then?
I love the Lions. I love Philly out of the NFC. And I mean, the AFC is interesting. I mean, it really is. I mean, I think Baltimore's still there. I mean, Pittsburgh, because of their defense, they're going to have a chance. There's no question about that. I just think, again, when we get down to the playoffs in the game, I don't see it.
Okay, let's talk about one of the teams that has had fantastic production from their offensive line for a long time, which is why we love them. D-Butch has a question for you, Jay.
Yeah, talent up and down this whole roster on both sides of the ball out there in San Fran with the 49ers. Obviously, it hasn't gone as we all probably thought it would this season. Any faith in the 49ers being able to turn it around and getting the dance and make some noise in December and January?
It's this. I talk about the Cowboys and the 49ers as two teams that before the season everybody had kind of in discussions about the possible NFC Championship. Obviously, we know that Detroit is going to be in those talks as well, among other teams. And then you see what happened during the season so far. That's the beauty of the NFL to me. That's the parody. That's what people love. That's why you tune in, because you have to play the games to make it work. I mean, they still have the talent. They still have the coaching that you should be scared of them at any time. And if you do look at their stats over the second half of seasons for these past few years, they have been dominant in the second halves of season, which makes what we're watching now even more interesting, because normally coming off a bye, they're great. Normally in the second half of the season, they're great. They're starting to get healthy to get Christian McCaffrey back. Still not great. So it is a little concerning there. But if I'm a team facing them, I still believe that they can do anything. I still believe that they can be dangerous. I truly don't even know exactly what's happening over there. But yes, if I'm a team lining up against them, I still see them as a very dangerous threat.
Me too. And what is happening over there? You know, I think we all just expect them to figure it out. Niners will figure it out. Niners will figure it out. You know who figured it out? Geno.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Geno figured it out. In that NFC West, 6-4, 5-5, 5-5, 5-5. Anybody can make it out of there, and seemingly anybody can get left out of that NFC West as well whenever you're talking long term.
Give some credit to the Cards, baby. Give the Cards some love.
Leaders of the NFC West are the Arizona Cardinals.
Gotta love it.
And that's why we love them. Mm-hmm. I do. I enjoy what Gannon has brought over there. Very much a culture shift for the Arizona Cardinals. And how are their facilities? Facilities getting better? Because I remember those report cards you guys gave out. All of you players.
They're working on it. They're working on it.
Yeah, but you players anonymously all said, this place fucking stinks.
The worst.
We need to get this thing fixed. With the team they have, with the hope that they have, with the opportunity that they have, with Kyler Murray still very young in this whole thing, maybe they do try to become a professional organization.
They should, maybe.
Maybe they try to invest in it. That'd be great. And I'm probably going to be living in Phoenix at some point in my life. Let's go, boy.
It's going to be good.
Same ownership group?
Yeah. Flip a switch, though. You can flip a switch.
Yeah, that happens.
Just like out there with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. The Brown family changing in Cincinnati.
They did it?
Yeah, now team's getting worse somehow.
I mean, you
go.
Throw the Chargers in there. They've flipped the switch.
Speaking of the Chargers, Ty has a question for you. Talk about changing a culture.
Yeah, Jade, you just talked to him a couple weeks ago, and we talked about it before the season, even without seeing who they got and the pieces that they lost. It was like, hey, Jim Harbaugh, the Chargers are going to win 10 games or 11 games next year. It just feels like that's what he always does. They have continued to do that despite not having maybe the weapons on offense or, missing a few guys on defense. But do you look at this Chargers team and think like, hey, this is a team that no one's going to want to see in the playoffs, considering what they've been so far?
Yes, absolutely. I think the way their defense is playing, Justin Herbert, dangerous and seemingly even more unlocked now with Harbaugh and everything that they're doing. You do not want to see them. And I don't know why this could just be completely me, or maybe it's reflective of how everybody feels about them. But when you think about the Chargers, you don't necessarily think of like a crazy, tough, hard-nosed, like beat you up football team. But that's exactly what they are now. That's exactly what Harbaugh, what Ben Herbert, what this squad has done is they've brought this tenacity. They've brought this energy. They've brought this physicality that don't let the baby blue jerseys fool you. Like they are going to hit you in the mouth. They are going to shut you down. And then they can also just throw it over the top of you with Justin Herbert and score a bunch of points on you.
They have sweet uniforms.
Yeah.
Best in the league.
Great social media. Great digital staff. Great facility, right? You were there last week. You would know more than us. Phenomenal facility. Yeah. They're in Los Angeles, so obviously a lot of eyes are going to be on them. And they got a young quarterback that's great and a coach that he's never going to die.
No.
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh might be the first one to get the head transplant.
Yeah.
He might coach them for the next 50 years over there. I'm buying stock in the Chargers. You were a believer long before anybody, seemingly, D-Butch.
I was a believer in Herbert. You know, his talent. You rarely see a young quarterback come in and be able to do what he's been able to do from day one. And it was always a question of who was leading the ship. You know, we always had questions about the head coach since day one. He dealt with, I think, 3 or 4 different offensive coordinators throughout his young career now. But to JJ's point, now they are that tough team that can finish. Even that game against the Bengals primetime, we all saw it's the Chargers coming to Chargers. But being able to finish that game, having a squad on both sides, bringing in young guys too, great coordinators, Greg Roman, Jesse Minter on both sides. They got all the makings of a team that can compete not only now but deep in the future.
How about J.K. Dobbins? He didn't have a lot of options.
No.
It wasn't like everybody was calling on him, and Jim Harbaugh's like, how about J.K. Dobbins? What a story. Resiliency, toughness, fast.
Jesse Minter has to be up there for #1 head coaching candidate next year, no? I mean, he's got to be in that.
Okay, we had this conversation yesterday. Vrabel, Belichick, Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Slowick, we don't know. We have no idea how the rest of the year ends up, if he's going to be in the chatter. Mentor, I guess you can add in there.
Cliff
Kingsbury, who's already been a head coach, but I think that new ownership group is probably going to drop some money into his pocket if there's any offers. Maybe he sticks around with Jaden for a while. We have not talked to him. We are just projecting in there. But we were talking about Jets.
Yeah, both Lions guys definitely got to be up there.
Danny Smith.
Danny Smith, special teams coordinator for the Steelers, might get his opportunity finally.
Yeah.
Might get his opportunity.
Awesome.
Would love that.
That would be.
Riz, we don't know. Coach Riz, special teams coordinator for the Saints. But you already got the Jets. You already got the Saints. The Jags was allegedly happening before that game, and then they play their worst game that they've played
in franchise history,
and get beat worse than they've ever gotten beaten in their entire existence. Nothing's happened. They're on a bye week. Coach Doug Peterson, who we love, absolutely love,
the man,
feels like his press conferences are from a guy who
get me the fuck out of here.
seems like there's a little bit of that, but then you start rattling off the potential places that you're gonna have coaching change. It's like there's a lot. So there's gonna be a bunch of coaches we haven't heard of that are gonna get gigs, and people are gonna be pissed about it regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I think every fan base thinks that there's just this pool of phenomenal, unbelievable coaches out there. Like people are getting pissed. Like obviously Kyle Shanahan's taking heat this year. You got guys taking heat for decisions, and I'm just like, how many phenomenal head coaches do you think are out there? Like, what do you think? You think guys are making perfect decisions at all times? But maybe this job is actually hard. Maybe they're making these crazy, crucial decisions with the pressure on at that exact moment while there's a billion other things going on. Maybe that's tough, all right? And maybe there's not 100 guys out there that could do it at the top level. Maybe there's a reason Andy Reid is so damn good at what he does, because he does it over and over and over, and he's the top of the top. Like, it's just crazy that we think that every head coach is going to make the perfect decision every single time. It's just not realistic.
Well, the grass is greener, though, and the owners think that way. There was an article this morning from Diana Rossini and Zach Blatt, I do believe, from The Athletic, saying that Ambassador Johnson had an all-hands-on-deck meeting with the power players of the Jets after week 4 or whatever, and says, we need to bench Aaron Rodgers right now. You need to go sign Devontae and give him more than they've ever had before. I want to get rid of this guy. Get rid of Lazard. I want Judy in here. Do this every single day. Maybe owner's not great either. Maybe not saying.
Hey, that was week 4, so that was before they got Devontae?
Yeah.
Before they
so he wanted to bench him, and they said no. And then he was like, okay, let's go get his best friend.
Yeah, but then they said, we don't know if this is a good trade because of what we're going to have to give up. And Ambassador goes, are you an ambassador or me? Do you
Did he drink the pepper water?
Cayenne pepper water, I do not know if that is part of Ambassador Johnson's entire daily routine, but he needs to think about it. And the more research we've done on that, I don't know if I'm going to change my life to start drinking it, but if you have it, I think it's okay.
It's going to help.
I think it does help out.
I'll light a fire under him again if we have to. Like, if that's what gets him on the win again, I'll do a favor to the city of New York. Like, I'll light a fire. Like stir that up, man. Replace the Gatorade coolers. Pepper water, pepper water, pepper water.
Replace the Gatorade coolers. You're so dramatic. Jeez,
they're not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not obviously going to take out all the electrolytes and just substitute cayenne pepper.
Gatorade's Gatorade.
Gatorade Zero. What a development. Did we know what we were drinking? And this is not an ad. They have not paid us. They should. They have not. Did we know that the original Gatorade was what it was? We were just chugging Kool-Aid, I guess,
sugar water.
with some electrolytes in it. And then they're like, oh, yeah, but now we got what we said this was the entire time. It's like, thank you for figuring that out.
I'm still drinking the OG one.
Yeah.
I don't
Sometimes you need to cut it with some water. There's some of those ones are a little bit too thick.
You got to drink it when you're active. You burn it off. You need to.
What about that Powerade in Georgia they handed you? Oh, buddy. What was that?
It was crap.
Delicious? Oh, no.
That was not of...
It was diesel Powerade, too.
It was,
I think it was gasoline.
It was a pink. It was a pinkish Powerade.
Yeah, chew it.
It was ice cold, which I was very appreciative, and they saw how hot it was. They brought it out to me. The equipment staff down there in Georgia was awesome. They were a great crew, great group of people. Very thankful for the hospitality down there. And shout out to DeCaesar, too. Old facilities manager down there, Paisan. He's a good dude. Absolute dog. He took care of us. Got me a hat, said, hey, you need some sunscreen. Looks like you're going through it. And then they said, hey, we got some cold drink for you. And they handed me over a pink Powerade. And then they just looked at me. And I looked at that. And I'm like, I'm dying of thirst right now. Ain't nobody fucking drinking the Phil Mickelson a drink show. No. Ain't nobody, This is Adidas right now I'm drinking.
Come on.
I don't. When was the last time I had Powerade? So,
Do you ever wear sunscreen out there, by the way? Ever?
Yes. I just naturally.
Dude, you are a lobster by the time Saturday rolls around.
Thanks, Jage. I know. And it's not just the outside. I'm getting cooked. My body cooks from the inside as well. Like if I get hot, it starts radiating. I'm like baking. So I get broiled and I'm baking at the same time. It's not the perfect setup to be on camera for it. And
Loved the outfit this week, though. The jeans with the boots. It was a great fit. I think that was number one of the year so far.
That makes me feel pretty good.
I agree.
David Allen should feel very fantastic about that suit coat because the number 2 outfit, I think, of the year where I've gotten compliments, same sport coat.
Sure.
Just different fit on the other side. Shout out to Shaq, too, for that big and tall shirt that I wore underneath that thing. That's a Shaquille O'Neal brand that you can get at JCPenney. Now, we talk about coaches being great, and everybody thinking there's a plethora of these leaders out there that can turn teams around. There's certainly one of them in the great city of Detroit. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, JJ, feels like the Lions are now the top class of the NFL. Do you think they're going to go on a run and kind of be what, everyone wants them to be in the Super Bowl champions? I mean, we know they're going up against Mac Jones this weekend, who people forget's a Pro Bowler. He's a good guy, good quarterback. But do you think the Lions are going to be the team that go on this run and, bring a trophy to Detroit?
I mean, it's a perfect example. Last year, playoffs, everybody's on Dan Campbell because he, the decision making and things like that. You got to change it in the playoffs and all this. Well, I mean, the guy got there, and he also has a team doing what he's doing right now. The thing that makes me like the Lions is their diversity and how they can beat teams. They can do it through the air. They can do it through the ground, on the ground.
Okay.
The play action game obviously opens up them. They're scoring 1 billion points. Defense is strong. They added Zadarius Smith. But that Texans game, unfortunately for me, obviously, really shows you what they're capable of in the face of adversity. And I think that is what really matters down the stretch, and especially in the playoffs, is being able to overcome some tough stuff, because the better the teams get, the better the competition gets, the more you're going to have those situations. And he clearly has those guys primed and ready. They're going to be an unbelievably tough out.
And they're expecting to win now, too. Like this week, they were the biggest favorites they had ever been in the history of the Detroit Lions, 14. And I think everybody in Detroit was expecting to cover, and they did.
Yep.
By 4X. It's like when they're expected to win, they do. They don't play down to the opponent's level, which is like very different for most teams that are kind of in the middle, meddling in this entire thing. They play dominant football regardless. It's like this Detroit Lions is so different than what it used to be, and I couldn't even fathom being a Lions fan. The roller coaster has been nice.
No, it's awesome. We were the team that used to get killed by 50 points, and now we win by 50 points, and MCDC saying that's not even our best football. We got things to clean up. We got some stuff that if it was Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, it might be a problem, and I love that because the expectation is so high. And like this, it has to be the year. Just got to stay healthy. But yeah, it's awesome.
It has to be the year.
I love the foot on the pedal mentality too.
Oh, yeah.
I love that he just keeps it down. You're letting your team know, like, guys, this is what we do. This is who we are. We're going to roll you. B, he's spreading the ball around to guys. I mean, hitting touchdowns, like, guys, it's just candy. He's just handing out touchdowns to guys, so everybody in the locker room's happy.
Who needs one, man? Who needs a touchdown for incentive? Fucking Jack. Okay, come on in. Put him in running back. Figure it out, Ben. Aren't you super genius? Fucking get the guy a touchdown. He's got $1 million on the line. That is real. It's like he's looking out for his guys too.
Oh, no doubt. And think about. So I'm interested in this because I haven't thought this through. So if this comes out stupid, no problem. I'll freezing cold takes. If you're the Lions and if you're the Lions coordinators, because they're both in line for head coaching jobs, and we assume that they're top of everybody's list. But you guys are having a blast. You got a great team. You got a great head coach. You guys are doing something incredible in a city that hasn't done it ever. And let's say the owner comes out and says, we're going to pay you guys head coaches' salaries. We're just going to have 3 guys with that level salaries on the staff. Is there a part of you that's like, yes, I will stay for that. I will do that.
So I think Ben Johnson already did that, right? I think Ben Johnson, offense coordinator, was potentially already offered a head coaching job and decided to stay at Detroit.
I believe he's gotten a raise the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, so this is just like the Cliff Kingsbury conversation with Washington, where he's already been a head coach, has already had a deal with all the shit. If the ownership, who has no salary cap on these coaching salaries, is able to give a boost, a good boost, and still to build something special and be a part of it, and if you like Dan, right? I think that's a big question, AJ. Do you like the head guy? Do you want to continue to work for him? Which it feels like they probably do, Age.
Yeah, but think about it also, what happens if you're all making, I don't know how many millions, and then say the defense is struggling? Are they going to fire this defensive coordinator making a ton of money? Offensive, I don't know. I just wonder if it could create a weird dynamic between those 3. But like to what Pat said, you better have a strong leader at the top that is the head coach.
Well, and every once in a while, an alpha knows when to bow down to another, concede to another alpha. I believe that's what good alphas do, is what Dan Campbell's actually said. But if you think about the Kansas City Chiefs, they got Andy Reid on the offense, Hall of Famer. Spags on the defense, Hall of Famer. And Tobe on special teams, that's a Hall of Famer. I don't know what they're all getting paid, but you're talking about 3 Hall of Fame coaches running the 3 different phases of football. That's a recipe for success. And if Detroit can continue to do that with MCDC and that culture, woo! Good for Sheila Ford Hamp, man.
Yeah. And it all started with Sheila Ford Hamp, exactly.
Which is what people forget. Good luck to the Lions. Good luck to everybody. We'll be back manana as Week 12 of the NFL season kicks off with an AFC North matchup on tomorrow's Thursday with Chuck Pagano. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool. Chef's kiss.
That was nice. You crushed that. That was to you. You crushed it.
Oh, that was to me? I thought it was to the people.
Sweet.
As you were doing it with the people, it was to everybody.
Who's Mighty Mick? That's an Irish guy that got made fun of so much. He said, "Who's the Mick now?" and started a boxing gym.
Rocky Balboa.
Rest in peace.
Mighty Mick. Mickey's the guy that was in his corner.
Yeah, Rock's trainer.
Mickey.
Yeah.
White guy, bald guy.
Yeah, old son of a bitch.
He turns red too.
Big time.
His gym is Mighty Mick's.
Precisely.
Rest in peace.
That's correct.
Genius.
R.I.P.
Genius name.
Mighty Mick.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of Mighty. That's him. Yeah.
There it is.
He and I, red.
Hey, look, he goes out with you every Friday on the road.
Take it easy.
Pretty racist to you, brother. Okay. I get it. Me and Mighty Mick's race is all red. Okay, I understand that is the case, but we don't need you judging us out here. I had SPF 70 all over me.
Then you did it a couple times, too.
SPF 70, because if I stop the outside, you need to know.
You spraying or you lotioning? Spray or lotion?
Spray.
Problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Come on.
That's the problem. Spray makes it worse. Spray is worse. Lotioning.
Spray is worse? What do you think?
Spray is worse. I think you get burned more with the spray.
You think I'm putting like butter on me, and I'm like putting...
I don't know, but personal one-of-one testing. Don't use this as any. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying for my life, spray sucks.
Well, and also with the way my life has gone, I've always been a spray guy, and I just charge it to the gate.
Yeah,
spray works just fine.
Charge it. This is the way my skin.
Where are you going this week? We sunny?
Columbus, Ohio. It's not sunny.
Oh, no.
It's actually the complete opposite. I think Friday. Normally on those Friday shows, I'll do them from like the stadium, or from the field, which is incredibly cool. Very lucky to do it. I think with the way the weather's supposed to be on Friday, it's like, are we sure we want to do that? I don't know if we want to do that. So we're trying to figure that all out right now. How's Saturday going to be over there, Age?
Is that game at noon?
Yeah.
40s.
What? You guys are Big Ten guys. That's what noon games are.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Got a good night game.
What are you talking about? It's a big noon kickoff.
Who's the night game?
I know.
Notre Dame Army.
I understand it. I understand it all. That is a good game. But,
At Yankee Stadium.
The Big Ten, I understand why. I understand the ratings. I understand the cash. I understand how it all works. It does feel like we are hurting ourselves with not having the best games at night.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans feel that way, especially Ohio State. They're going to have 7 straight noon games pretty much to kind of shut out the game because Ohio State's so damn good. AJ obviously has the take of like, what time they play a game, who cares? And I appreciate that.
No, I agree with what Jade said. I agree with that. Like, I didn't think of it like that. You're doing the conference a disservice not having these primetime games. That's true.
Showcase it to everybody, the greatness, but also the numbers that are coming out for the noon kicks are like gigantic because of having the biggest game at that point. So, I respect how much money Fox is given to broadcast these games at noon. But me personally, you work to get under the lights. Like that's what you work to get under the lights. Like that's the purpose of the whole thing. So, they're in quite a predicament. And the fact that Ohio State is the team, that has worked to get under the lights the most. They spent the most money. We got primetime players. Like we paid for our primetime players. And it's like, actually 7 straight of them fucking noon. That is when you're playing. And you got all those Ohioans like, so we got to do 4 a.m. wake-ups all the time? Or because we got a good football team, we're not allowed to have a day throughout this entire thing? Go ahead, Tom.
That Notre Dame Army game is also NBC Peacock. The Fox late game is Iowa State, Utah.
Oh, jeez.
Banger.
That's a Big 12 game. You need to fucking relax.
I understand.
Listen,
it's
if
a Big 12
I am
game.
so disgusted.
That's terrible. And think about Ohio State's one night game, or at least maybe they had a different one, but like Oregon, Ohio State.
Awesome.
Of course, it was on the road, too.
Yeah, and it was
NBC.
NBC.
That wasn't even cheese.
Jage, can you stick around for a break so we can do Ask Jage? I'm about to piss my pants.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, that's good tease, too. On the other side, we got hashtag AskJage, which became the #2 trending topic in the United States of America this morning.
Wow.
We got some great questions. Connor went through. He'll answer those. We'll also cover every sports story that we haven't chatted about, plus everything DB, good D, bad D, in the trenches. This final hour is about to be immense and fantastic. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Like Dude Wipes. 14 years is a long time to live with a brown streak. Dude Wipes is betting that this is the year the Browns end their nasty streak, and you could cash in on it whenever they take their first kickoff return for a touchdown. Haven't done it in 14 years.
Tomorrow.
When they do it for the first time since 2006. That's longer than that. 2006.
That's 8? Is that 18?
That'd be 18.
I'm not a mathematician. I'm reading the copy here. So something's wrong here. Nonetheless, it's been a long-ass time since the Browns have taken a kickoff back to the house. Whenever they do it, you could be you could win $100,000. It's free to enter. All you gotta do is scan this code from our friends at Dude Wipes, enter in, and you could be the $100,000 winner whenever the Browns take a kickoff back to the house. It's all about ending the streak. StopTheStreak.com to enter if you can't scan the QR code. And that's what Dude Wipes does. They stop the streaks in your drawers, and they make your cheeks feel better than ever before.
That's right.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Like Dude Wipes. Take 5.
Hello and welcome to the special investigative report. Much has been made in the media world on the life and charitable donations of the man Pat McAfee, especially lately with the rise of the ever-popular Pat McAfee Show. a show that, in his own words, stinks. We thought it privy to dive into the inner workings and machinations of this tiny business, this small regional show that has reached international discourse. We sat down with the suit himself, Bruce Brown, to figure out what, where, when, why, and how they're able to give away so much money to the viewers of this incredible program.
So yeah, when you enter a Pat McAfee Show giveaway, essentially, the entire hashtag will be downloaded into an Excel file, and the winners will be randomized within that. And then we do a quick scumbag check, basically click on the profile and make sure, you aren't a robot or blocked by Pat. And then it'll be transferred over to Dirty Gertie, who creates the Winner Wednesday graphic, which then runs on the show each Wednesday in a commercial break. If you win over $599, we're going to need your email, or you can email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. If it's under $599, all we need is the easiest way to pay you digitally. And if you win merch, obviously we need your size, address, and what you want from the store. Usually I'll just reply to you on Twitter. If you have any questions about any giveaway, whether it's cash that you either are waiting on or merch, you can just reach out to me on Twitter or email giveaways@patmcafeeshow.com. Please give us about 1 to 2 weeks to sort out your prize. That's typically how long it takes. But again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us.
We reached out to PMI's money man himself, CFO Phil, for an on-camera interview. Regretfully, he declined the segment, but he did give us the salacious, juicy details.
In an email correspondence, CFO Phil replied, over $5.1 million year to date. Too much money.
There you have it.
Over $5.1 million.
Giving away a pissed off CFO and a show that quote unquote stinks. Good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Welcome to Dublin, Ireland on this Feel Good Friday, August 23rd, 2024. We are live from J.R. Mahin's.
Drinks are on Pat McAfee tonight, fella. Let's go!
Hop, 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 hop. The fact that anybody knows we exist in Ireland, we are so incredibly thankful. So to all of you, we say, Gotcha!
I just want Kurt to know I got 1,000 phone calls when we got in the playoffs. He didn't have anything to do with them not getting in the playoffs, and I didn't either. But we both got hammered.
Some of us did get hammered last night. We have real football happening today for the first time in months. This is a beautiful time in a wonderful town. It's fight night, baby! Davis is his name.
We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go. I would be back in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech.
44 yards away to do it. He got it! He got it! And the Yellow Jackets did it!
Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dan in Connecticut. Lovely place here on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Dano?
Oh, what's up, Pat McAfee?
Dan, you are too young to listen to this show. I can tell. I think. How old?
I'm not Dan. I am Owen.
Ned. Owen, how old are you?
It's so different.
I am at 8.5.
Oh, that's cute.
8.5. If you're telling us you're half age, you're too young to be listening.
That's a record.
What's on your mind, pal?
What do you want to talk about, Owen?
I want to talk about how inspiring this show is and how you're inspiring this whole entire world with how you're talking about sports and how you're talking about your life experience.
Thank you, Owen.
Owen, thank you.
Love you, Owen.
Thank you,
Owen, I'm taking her on the
And also, fuck Boston College.
I will let Owen know, if you're still listening, Owen, you're inspiring.
Best kid ever.
Owen, the way you talk about sports is inspiring.
Yes!
I didn't know 8.5 could do that. Wow. Shout out Owen.
That time.
Go Owen.
Hey, Owen. New generation in Connecticut, I guess.
He was making me feel good, too, by the way. He was making me feel good, making the show feel good. He was talking us up. He was hyping us up, and then boom, a little...
Was this Aristotle's brother?
A little misdirection from Aristotle's brother, Owen, at 8.5 there. That was awesome.
I'd say he put his balls on your forehead, but I don't think they dropped yet. So.
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Hey, look it. Weeman's taken to the semi-zone. Look at Weeman. Weeman has beat the hell out of Sami Zayn. Punches and bunches from Weeman. I think he learned something from Brock. And Weeman back in the ring. He's stalking Sammy. Listen to this place. Oh, to the kneecap. Weeman so active. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Weeman body slamming Sami Zayn. Weeman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, November 20th, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! There's only one person that did not say the word football. 2 people, I guess. Me and the man that's sitting in between the 2 photos you see on the screen here. This is Bull Ring of Honor member for the Houston Texans, J.J. Watt.
Yeah, J.J.
Next to him is A.J. Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Boston Hockey, huh? Just fired our coach already.
Yep.
Bruins have already fired their coach.
Damn.
Already, this early
That
into
sucks.
the end. That sucks.
Does.
This team sucks. You guys are that bad? You're firing coach already?
No, we are not
You
that
guys are the
bad.
New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints
No.
of the NHL?
Not even a little bit. We're trying to turn things around here, and I don't know why Monty got fired this early. I think a lot of people are questioning who's running the show up there in the GM suite when it comes to the Boston Bruins. But guy coming in, Joe Sacco. I mean, one of the greatest coaches in the history of hockey. You wait and see what this guy does with these Bruins. I have a lot of faith in Marshy and the guys in that locker room to turn this thing around, and I think Joe Sacco's the right man for the
What
job.
do you know about Coach Joe Sacco?
Look, Joe Sacco, first of all, he's a Medford man. He's in Middlesex County, town next to where I grew up from. That's where he's from. He actually lived in Winchester. Same time around when I did. He raised his family, his boys, his family very well. Joe Sacco was, my little league hockey coach when I was coming up.
He coached you, now he's coaching the Bruins?
Yeah, he coached me when I was coming up in the Winchester Hockey Youth Program system, and now he's coaching the Boston Bruins, and I got a lot of faith in this guy because he knows what he's talking about.
That's a good story. That's a good Boston story.
Yeah, it truly is. Him, my buddy's pa, and Joe Sacco. And guess what we did?
What's that?
We went on to win the league. The Mighty Bees, baby. That's what we do. Wait till you see what he does with the Big Bees, okay? He's gonna run the show. I think we're gonna go and get Lombardi this year. Okay. And when I say Lombardi, I mean Lord Stanley.
Football season, obviously.
Yeah,
all eyes are on Drake May being
of course.
And
Sorry, I'm getting my sports mixed up here.
Yeah, Celtics, also huge win.
Celtics start on too. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? This is Boston. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Congrats to Joe Sacco.
Joe Sacco.
Unbelievable.
From the baby
I don't think I took the right vitamins for this hour.
What are you talking about?
The hell?
That's a real story.
I don't know.
We just
I
broke
don't
news.
know what he's talking
That's for
about.
shoot, brother.
That's everything we just talked about is real. That is a matter of fact. We just broke news to you. Boston Bruins fired their coach. That happened. Okay, Boston.
I know that.
Mm-hmm. Joe Sacco, look at that look. That's the look he gave whenever he got fired in this entire thing. Joe Sacco, new head coach of the Boston Bruins, actually Boston Connor's childhood coach. He was on the Stairmaster yesterday whenever this happened. He was walking over here, miserable. Hoodie on, head down, sweating all over the place, just chugging away. Incredibly proud of you for how you have committed to doing that every single day. I go over to him because the Bruins news just broke, and I go, we're the Jets now of the NHL, not the Winnipeg Jets, the good Jets. Mm-hmm. We're talking New York Jets of the NHL. You already fired your coach in this entire thing. He goes, I don't care, okay? I'm not happy about it at all. And then I go, Joe Sacco, that's a good name. He goes, coached me when I was a kid. And he just casually just said it as I was doing this. I'm like, hold the fucking phone. What do you mean? He goes, Mighty Beast. He was my coach. I know him. Good guy, actually. Don't love we fired coach. Love Coach Sacco, though. He's a good coach in his entire. That's all real. So everything we just did was break news, Jage. Mm-hmm. That's literally what we just did. Yep. Welcome to the program, pal.
I'm so deep in I cannot tell. Now I can't tell if I'm getting double played.
Dude,
actually, I'm so lost, man.
He grew up in Medford, which is the town next to where I grew up from. But then he moved back. After he played 13 years in the NHL, moved back, started his family, raised his family in the same time I did. Kid Joe Sacco Jr., who was his boy, me and him play on the same hockey team.
So?
Ipso facto.
The Medford part is where I'm like, all right, I'm on board. And then after Medford is where I fall off the map, where I'm like, I can't tell. It's real or not.
Why would I lie about this?
Journalism smacks.
I don't know. You start talking faster, and then you start throwing stats out and like a lot of names and things, and that to like make it like they can't not believe me if I have all this information. But it does feel like you're throwing so much information that we shouldn't believe you.
Joe Sacco Jr., Connor Campbell, son of Steven. And the Mighty Bees were a wagon. Were a fucking wagon back in the day. Undefeated, you guys were.
Oh, my God. I mean, you should have seen what the other towns would do when we would come to town. You want to talk about cement in the boots? The other teams, they didn't even want to skate with us when we took the ice.
See, now that might not be real. See, now you got to have a sense. Now you got to have a sense of what's real, what's not real. Welcome to the program. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here.
Sir. Good luck with your program.
D-Bucks, I didn't know Connor was a champion hockey player.
I didn't know that either. What position?
I mean, I was kind of a jack of all trades, so I was the worst guy on the team. But, I mean, I'll tell you what, when we took the ice at Flynn Rink, there was no fucking around. I mean, I'll go between the pipes if I had to. Mm-hmm. I'd play center if I had to. I mean,
blue guy for sure.
Whatever coach needed me to do.
Coach Sacco.
Coach Sacco. And my dad, whatever my dad told me to do, I just said, all right, fine, fuck it. I won't play it today because we need to win. I get it. It's fine.
It's for the team.
Your dad come up to you. Joe Sacco's kid's on this team. Okay? He's going to play. Don't got time for you today.
What?
I'm so sorry.
We're still getting Burger King after the game.
Yeah, but we're gonna let Junior. We're gonna let Junior go win this one for us.
That's fine.
Just need your energy and vibes on the side. I tried to talk to Joe Sacco Sr. He laid out a lot of good points. Congrats to your mighty bees.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. Actually, I think the bees are going to go on a run.
That's quite a Boston story. That's a great Boston sports story, from the Mighty Bees to the Boston Bruins. Joining us is a 12-year NFL vet Super Bowl champion, AQ Shipley.
Yeah, baby, AQ.
Penguins are dead, pal.
Dead. They're dead. I keep watching every week, and I'm like, all right, here it is. 2-0.
We're up.
2-0 lead yesterday.
Yeah.
They give up 2, and then quick score in overtime, and it's over.
Hockey is awesome.
It's over.
It is absolutely awesome. Not as easy to talk about when your team sucks.
Yep.
Okay? My team had been great for a very long time. Decades and decades and generations of Yinzers have had the opportunity to say, my team's better than your team, because we actually had a chance to be that. And now it seems like the Penguins just absolutely suck. And that's not fun. That's not great. Jade, you grew up playing hockey, right? Who was your team?
Yes, I did grow up playing hockey. I've said this before, and I take no shame in it because I didn't know. I grew up in Wisconsin. We didn't have a team, so I started watching the Blackhawks. Big Chris Chelios guy, big Jeremy Roenick guy, Eddie Belfour. And then I believe it was Chelios went to the Red Wings, and so I went to the Red Wings, which that's a no-no. You should not follow two teams in the same area.
Don't be a Red Wings fan if you have a choice.
No.
Definitely don't do that.
So I was following both those guys. So I became a Steve Yzerman, a Chris Osgood, Mike Vernon, Sergei Fedorov. I mean, love some good old school hockey.
Oh, Stevie's
bubble hockey.
back.
I still have Connor. Speaking of the rinks, you know the bubble hockey machine, like the bubble hockey.
Oh, yeah.
In the rinks, got one at my house up in Wisconsin. One of my most prized possessions because they are impossible to find.
Yeah, and good times.
So fun.
Very good times in there. Very classic rink shit is those bubble hockeys. Here's Jage on the skates here as an adult. Just Clap Bomb City. Goalie is trying really hard. Yeah, I love. Hey, Jage. Hey.
That was clean.
Good shot.
That is obviously the goalie's going to save that with his chest if he just decides not to leave, but that's still going to be a thud and hurt goalie on the other side. That's some real power in that Clap Bomb, Jage.
Yeah, you get out of the way when you see Fulton Reed winding up.
Yeah, that is exactly who you are. Quack, 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 quack. All right, that's good hockey talk. Who's going to win at Vegas?
The boys are fucking buzzing right now.
Gumsh boys. The Dallas Stars are a fucking problem.
We lost at home to the Ducks the other night, but we'll beat the shit out of the hungry Sharks tonight.
Yeah, you guys, the hungry Sharks, are they in the tank out there? Are you guys out there?
No, we're in Texas for Texas hockey.
What you guys won into Pittsburgh and put 5 on us in the first inning?
6-1, put 7 on you in the first inning there, and then put 7 on the Bees as well.
I'll tell you what, you guys almost said you guys scored a touchdown on the Pens in the first inning of that particular one.
And then the Red Wings beat the Penguins.
You guys send Sid on his way, or you going to let him go somewhere and win, or what are we doing?
Here's the deal. Like, in that game, we're getting blown out in the first period. In this game last night, we're up. It's like, I don't have a read on whether or not I should pay attention to the team or not pay attention. I'll check in on their game, right? Because ESPN Plus, I think you have the ability to kind of find the games.
That's awesome.
It is fantastic. It was never like that here in Indianapolis to be able to watch the Pens. So anytime I go into like Hulu or whatever, they'll have that up there as an option. Like, hey, the Pens are playing right now. You want to watch every time. Without failure. If there's not an NFL game on, every time without failure, I'm like, yeah, I do want to see. And then I turn it on and I'm like, no, I don't. And then I got to go to the other channels. I got to leave ESPN Plus to go to the other places. Pens suck, Nick. That is what why do we suck?
Because how much time you got? How long do you want this show to go?
Technically, I don't know how much time Jage has, but on our particular watch, we have no out time. So you can run this thing till tomorrow if you'd like to. But if it takes that long, I'm a little bit concerned about the future of everything if we have that many discussions to have.
Yeah, you should be. They might be able to win a few more games in the short term if they were to make a coaching change and change the style of the way they play, but they don't really want to do that. The guy like Sid, Gino, Malkin, they all wanted to stay together, so they signed those extensions. And they want to continue to play a certain way. They want to try and play high-tempo offensive hockey, except they're all in their late 30s. It's very hard to do. The previous GM kind of ran things amok with the cap and the supporting cast. The current GM's trying to clean it up. He's trying to rebuild on the fly.
Beat 'em.
He's trying to collect picks but also win games. It's an impossible task. There's really no good way to do it. So they're kind of in this no man's land limbo where they're not bad enough to get a top pick and they're not good enough to get a playoff spot.
They're in purgatory between the future and yesterday.
And you also have a Cone playing in net. You have no starting
look at that goal differential.
The goalie's absolutely reek.
Asinine.
Negative 26 is certainly not good. As you see, it is obviously the worst in the entire.
And that's saying something because they're scoring goals.
Damn. Where are the Panthers?
Who would break first if we said we're staying all night? Who would leave the studio first?
If If we were to say just
if we said we were just running the show, just we're going to go until we go. Who's leaving first?
Baby girl Mackenzie has changed a lot of things. I think there's a lot of babies and toddlers and kids around the Thunderdome now. But let's say that's all handled and taken care of. Okay. I don't know if anybody leaves. Legit. How about that for team culture?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I'm looking around right now. I don't think anybody leaves because the people that you would just say, oh, they would leave. They got nothing else to do.
I have this is the only thing I ever have. I have nothing in my life.
I'm in the same boat as well, Connor. As well.
Nothing wrong with it.
This is it, brother. This is it.
I think nobody, James.
I love it.
You said kids are handled, right?
Yeah, kids are handled. Kids situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you take kids are handled out of it, I mean, then there's literally no reason for anybody. Like I'm talking like real life scenario. Somebody's got to go.
I think in some shitty places there would be people that'd be like, I don't care. I don't have kids.
5 o'clock. Yeah,
Get me the
I'm
fuck
out of here
for sure. I think there would be people. So pretty proud of our culture, Jage. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even though you think we lie when we do journalism.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be the one. Like, why would I make up this elaborate story?
And think about
there's a lot of things you do that I wonder about. So
that's fair.
Valid.
That's fair.
Valid right there. But now, to be clear, we just introduced a lot of people to who Joe Sacco is.
And he actually is a unbelievable coach. And Nick, much well versed in hockey than me, but he is very well respected around the entire league. Former player. Like I am actually
NHL league or
NHL. Played 13 seasons in the NHL. So I mean, I actually do feel great, obviously.
He used to coach the Colorado Avalanche. His first season there, he was up for the Jack Adams, which is the best coach in the league award. He did not win it. And then the following 3 seasons, he had losing seasons and got fired. So
okay.
Which is also why people are bummed out about that whole thing is because the 2 coaches we just fired won the Jack Adams. So honestly, at this point, I don't know if we want Joe Sacco winning the best coach award.
We're done with the Jack Adams.
Might get his ass canned.
Jackasses win the Jack Adams, Boston says. Anyways, that's sports journalism. Let's do some more of that. You know, there's people that have burning questions for one of the greatest football players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
A Wisconsin lad who has a log cabin in Wisconsin. A man who would actually get into frozen lakes before this whole cold tub thing was cool to take care of his body. He drank his own urine, obviously. We've talked about that. To really exercise his body to be the best that it could possibly be. And that'll lead to him being a first ballot Hall of Famer. But we get a chance to chat with him. A lot of people don't. So we put out a tweet, said, hey, you have a question for J.J. Watt, the absolute legend? All you got to use is the hashtag AskJage. And you could potentially have your question asked to the man himself. Now, it became a number 2 trending topic on X, and we appreciate everybody for participating. But also, Jage, congratulations. A lot of people have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah, let's go.
A lot of people have a lot of questions. Conman scanned through them, and we found 6. Let's get to them. Here's this one's from Ty Schmidt in studio in Thunderdome. Hashtag AskJage. What was the most difficult part of hosting Saturday Night Live? That's a great question. To be clear, forgot you did that. And when I saw this question, I thought to myself, yeah, because when Jage gives his answer, we'll probably get a little intel into what everybody else's life is like as the host of Saturday Night Live. What was it like? What was the hardest?
The hardest part about hosting SNL is being able to take it all in, appreciate it, and how wonderful and incredible it is, while still having to work extremely hard to make sure that you're getting ready for Saturday night. They do an incredible job setting you up for success. Literally everybody's goal is to set you up. But at the same time, there's just this wonder and excitement about being on the show. And so I think the hardest thing for me was like just trying to take it all in and not let it pass by without truly appreciating it.
Long hours, right? Long hours in that?
Long hours, late nights. Yeah, it's a crazy week. It is. I would do it again in an absolute heartbeat. I always say it's one of my favorite things I've ever done.
Relax. We don't need you publicly petitioning, okay? you're J.J. Watt. They will certainly have you back, Jage. But
He's on CBS now, so I think that's probably a no-go.
Oh, you don't think Lauren is gonna? You think Lauren's saying no way? Are we doing that?
Sorry.
I thought you did a great job. I just got reminded of some of your skits, and
Yeah, you forgot all about it, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
there's a lot of things.
There's
happened.
been a lot
of things have happened in here. A lot of SNLs have happened. But once I saw him, I was reminded of how good you were. But I think that time thing's real. What day did you get there for that Saturday Night Live?
You get there on Monday. You get there on Monday, and it's a whole week, man. Those guys are crazy because obviously they do the whole week and they do everything for Saturday, and they are truly. It is the coolest thing. They set you up for success. All they want is for the host to be successful. It's really cool. And then you do Saturday, you have the after party and everything, and then you go home and you tell all your friends how awesome it was and crazy. But they're right back to it for the next week. It's a grind for those guys.
AJ, have you ever been to Saturday Night Live taping? What is it, like 250, 500? How many people is it in there?
Probably like 300 people, yeah.
Jage, how was it when I would assume they were pitching things to you early in the week. How did you handle it when they pitched you stuff that you knew was absolute garbage and not going to be fun?
That's good. That's good.
Thankfully, Lauren handles most of it. No, thankfully, Lauren handles most of it. He just, you sit in the room with all of them, and they pitch it all to you in rapid fire succession. Every single person on the cast pitches an idea. So there's like 50 ideas. Then they all write them up. Then you do the table read where you do all 50 skits, or whatever it is, 45 skits. And then after that, they cut it down and you decide. And then at rehearsal, you run through them all, and then you cut 3 after rehearsal. So it's a crazy process. It's wild. And all these people have been trying for weeks and weeks to get their skits on. So they're really jacked up when their skit gets on, or they're really disappointed when it doesn't.
I think I'm disappointed that they know the lines so well, because I think somebody being surprised by something is potential a lot better live, because everybody, there's less breaks from actors on Saturday Night Live. I think because how many times they've heard it. And the table read, are you selling out on every one of those? Or is there some you look through and you're like, okay, we could act confused, don't know how to act or read these ones in there. That's how you would make your selections, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think I sold out too much in the table read. I think I came in a little too hot in the table read. I looked back on it afterwards and I was like, oh, man, you might have looked like an idiot in there. Because everybody else is doing it pretty good, just standard energy, with some inflection. And I just acted like it was the show and probably was I didn't know what to do. I'd never done it before. But it was great, man. It's such a cool process. It was a blast.
Hell of an honor in the history of Americana, I do believe, would be that conversation. 285 seats in there. 285 seats.
The thing that you said about breaking is so true, because obviously when I watch the clips as a fan, I think they're funniest when somebody breaks, when somebody's laughing, cracking up. But somebody said to me, and I don't remember who or what, but they're like, try not to break. But I always so in your head, you're trying not to break. But all you want to do is break, and I think that's funnier. So I didn't break on purpose because I was scared to. I thought I might get in trouble. But there's tons of moments where you want to.
What are you gonna do? Kick you out of the shows?
You're fired.
Yeah, you got got an hour and a half left. It's been a good week on that whole thing. I think you did a great job, Jage. You represented football, baby.
Oh yeah, JJ.
Represent football. Let's go to another question. This one's from Tone Diggs. #AskJage. What tips did you give Tej for in-season Hard Knocks? Let's take a stop over to Hammer. Dahn. Tone, what did you mean whenever you asked this question?
Well, JJ is a veteran of the Hard Knocks game, multiple seasons, both preseason and in season, if I was correct. So, Tej has got the AFC North first time ever in season. They're doing a whole division coming up starting in December. Did you give him any tips for, how to act around the cameras or anything like that?
Don't rap Fort Minor.
Smart.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea. It's a memorable moment, though.
Yeah, it was sweet.
That's one of the biggest moments in the history of Hard Knocks, I'd say. Mm-hmm. This is 20% luck, 15% skill, 10%
concentrated power will.
How many percentages are left? We don't really know.
But 100% reason
to remember the name. That was cool. And then you're working out.
Yep.
Flipping tires.
Sleeping there? Remember he had a bed?
Yeah, the nap corner.
Had a bed back there? Yeah. We learned a lot about you on there.
That was smart. I don't care what anybody says. That was brilliant.
The bed?
Yes.
Genius, yeah. I watched it. We all thought it was genius. Anybody that's been in a facility, or if they're in a facility for a long time or a training camp, it's like have a little hideout bed, not a bad spot there. So you would say don't rap Fort Minor. Got it. Okay, I'm sure Tej might.
He might.
I'm not worried about Teach. He doesn't do much. He's probably going to hide from the cameras.
Oh, when he shaved his head, it's going to be a part of it.
I hope.
A big decision that was made was TJ's haircut. We followed him to the barber, and he's talking to the barber. He's going, it just flipped switch into a different mode. Oh, my God.
I don't think they start filming until next week. I don't think filming starts until next week.
Oh, they've been filming all season, Jage.
Yeah. Saw a trailer.
Yeah, Muth told us they're already in the building a couple weeks ago.
Who?
Really?
Muth. Yeah, I call him Muth, though, because I'm not a Steelers fan.
That's the first time I've heard you say that. Once again, here we go. No table read for you calling him Muff. So I'm experiencing this for the first time, which goes back to Saturday Night Live. Let's go to the next question, shall we? This is from Milo Diaz. Hashtag Ask Jage. Now that Colts are a Super Bowl contender, is he scared the Texans will be out of the playoff picture? Get a win over the Cowboys. Everybody's going to do that. Yeah. Are you a little bit worried about how this is all going to look going forward? Colts still have a door. Colts still have a road.
Great question.
Nah, no stupid questions out there. Sometimes there are stupid questions. That's one.
D-Butch just said that was a great question.
We're 2-0. We're 2-0 against them.
Anthony Richardson's playing his best ball.
Boom!
Trucking people.
Boom! Did you see that too?
Guys, stop trying to get back on the Colts fans' good side because of everything you did all year. Like,
excuse me.
Another game you're playing.
Whoa. It's too close to the sun here. Okay, whoa. Still got a road. Always send it. Check the tape. Let's go to the next question, shall we? This is from Leah Knott. Leah Harborville, hashtag AskJage, ham versus turkey at Thanksgiving. Here we go.
All right, if they're both on the table, I'm definitely eating them both. But if you can only have one, you have to have turkey on Thanksgiving.
We knew you were eating turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
such a
you just have to.
You're getting the whitest of the meat too, right from the turkey.
No. I love dark meat.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I know that's probably going somewhere for sure.
Really? Big dark meat.
I mean, I don't know how you want me to answer the question. It was a literal question.
No,
I don't know how.
We're talking Thanksgiving. We're talking Thanksgiving.
Talking turkey.
We're talking Thanksgiving. I love if I'm forced to eat turkey, I'm going with the drumstick.
Sure.
Okay, for sure. Nowhere near the rib cage am I eating. Okay, and if I am, because I'm forced to, because there's nothing else left. Let's say you get to a place that's having it, and somebody took both the legs, so now you're forced to eat the bad meat. Yeah, but it's an event. You should have played. The amount of salt I'm dumping on top of that is astronomical. And then I'm also probably heading to person's fridge to see what other condiments we have. Maybe even ketchup on Thanksgiving.
Cranberry. Try some cran on
there. Why don't you just put gravy on it?
Stuff. You make a sandwich out of that meat.
Yeah, with the Hawaiian roll.
Yeah.
You certainly do.
Yes.
And you put stuffing on there because that is the greatest side ever Thanksgiving. No questions asked. That is the answer. Right.
Sandwich is a second round though. Like that's you eat your food, you go up, you get a plate, maybe you get a second plate, you watch football, you take a nap. Sandwich is after the nap. That's when you go back with the leftovers and you make the sandwich.
I'll tell you, I'll sandwich just about anything. I actually had a restaurant concept called Everything's a Sandwich that I wanted to open. Because if you think about it, you can put everything into a sandwich, literally. I want spaghetti. Sweet. We can make that French bread or Texas toast. Make that thing garlic bread. Go ahead and put a meatball on there. Go ahead and put spaghetti in there. Now what do we have? Oh, you have a spaghetti sandwich. Everything. Chicken parm. Any meal you can think of, you can make into an awesome sandwich. And that white meat that everybody, Kirk Herbstreit, we knew this. We didn't have to get reaffirmed this. That turkey showed up on the desk this past weekend.
Yeah.
He was like, how do I eat this?
What do you mean?
You grab the fucking drumstick. There's 6 of them. So this is obviously a very natural turkey. There's 6 of these things. You grab that thing and you eat it. He goes, I don't eat that. He was like, I need some getting silverware. I'm like, no, we don't have silverware.
Come on, man.
So he sticks his hand into the top, peels back the thing, pulls out this piece. He goes, the best. And I go, he loves mashed potatoes too. They're like, he is
legend.
He is a full-on mashed potatoes guy, all the way in on mashed potatoes. I'm out on mashed potatoes. So that was a whole...
What?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
What?
I don't think it's ridiculous.
What?
It
How?
is ridiculous.
Don't need them.
It's a waste of space. We're wasting space.
So good. Oh,
So good.
So good.
if we got other options, stuffing's available.
Yeah, but the
final answer. You got some sweet potato stuff also available. Final answer. Like, what are we even thinking about with just the slop?
But why are you having to decide? Like, put it all. Yeah, all those things sound.
Okay, Jay.
Back it up. Give me some green bean casserole on there. Just all of it. Cranberries, that canned cranberry shit, kick that to the
Take
curb.
it easy, Jay.
Yeah,
Crown is delicious.
Couldn't agree more. Get it out.
Show Crown its respect.
Gum stands on business for Crown, but he has been the only one for years.
That shit sucks.
Shut up, Jay.
True.
God damn it.
He tried to swing it in earlier, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Jage heard that, I think, and that's why he brought it back. You're a mashed potatoes guy, though, but you only like mashed potatoes, obviously, because the flavor of stuff that gets put onto the mashed potatoes, not the actual mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
That's the same
and they're also a great base for a bowl.
Stuffing isn't just bread. Stuffing is bread and then everything that comes with it, just like mashed potatoes.
Okay, so you're saying mashed potatoes with gravy, with flavor, with everything.
Valid point.
I don't put gravy on it. I just like mashed potatoes plain. But like mashed potatoes and stuffing are kind of one and the same. Because you put a bunch
one tastes good.
You put they both
And
taste
one
great.
does not.
They both taste fantastic.
And I'm not, I'll put mashed potatoes on the plate this year.
You're damn right.
Okay? For you and for Jage, for his fucking, who says, even though our stomachs are only a certain size.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking starving right now. That sounds so good. This sounds so good right now.
Holiday season's filled with good food.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time where you gain 30, 40 pounds, boys. Let's remember that.
Got to earn it now.
Then a New Year's resolution. Start over.
Yeah, but you can't gain weight. So that's why he's like.
Yeah, D-Play, you look like you're like an Under Armour model. So
he does.
Bullshit.
He does. It is wild. This guy will have French toast, couple pancakes, 4 donuts before the show. Come over, absolutely jacked, 3% body fat, keeps it moving. Don't be telling people they need to eat. Let's make sure we don't gain 30 pounds this holiday season, boys.
Enjoy it. You got to enjoy it, man.
Absolutely.
Did you guys already go over the best pies, obviously, I assume, at some point?
Apple.
Right.
Sweet potato pie.
Pumpkin.
I mean, Thanksgiving, you got to have a pumpkin. I mean, not saying it's the best tasting pie in the world, but Thanksgiving, you got to have a pumpkin.
Pumpkin's the best.
For the good of the holiday, I think you're right, yeah.
And I was in Texas long enough that a pecan pie is necessary also. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Did you just a pecan pie?
Yeah.
Pecan?
Depending
on
on
it doesn't look like you turned many down.
Come
Jeez.
on, again?
Fat
I don't know why. That one wasn't even necessary. That one wasn't. Pat gave you hype earlier for hitting on the elliptical. I was going to ask, are you really doing it or just when he walks in? But
Stairmaster. He really
I
does
sit
it
at the bottom and then I just, oh shit, here come people.
How long do you do it?
10, 5 minutes.
200 floors yesterday.
No, that shit is real. Stairmaster is a workout that you absolutely respect.
And mentally, you can quit anytime. It's very easy. Let's just say we can just hit the stop button and these stairs will stop. Like it is, and I can get down. I got a good sweat in. How many did I do? I did 70 floors. Wow. Holy shit. That's bigger than any building here in Indianapolis. If I need to get to the top, I can do that. And you walk off. So to continue to go to 200 floors with how miserable you were, we're proud of you, buddy. You're not a fatso. Now, I do know
that's incredible.
I do know that this all started at the soccer tournament, though, right? TST, when Jage was walking by. Is that he called you a fat ass, right?
Yeah. But get back in the donut line.
Well, you were in the donut line, so let's not act
coffee.
like
It was coffee in a donut truck.
How about that going as big as it was, and then a wave of people finding out he was talking to Boston Connor? Oh my God, yes. And then it just went again. It went like twice out of there. That was a good time down Cary, North Carolina. Long time.
Yeah, good long
time. All right, let's go to another
forget it.
Ash J, just from JD and Indy. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck, Jage?
100 duck-sized horses. A lot of kicks.
Okay, so you're
Yeah, I'm just-
That's what you're doing?
Yeah, just hucking them right out of the way. They're going to go further than that free kick you had at TST.
I doubt it. Buddy, you were there. That thing left the building. You saw it. And so did my hip. I watched it back. That thing leaves the camera.
Oh, yeah.
It was out of the screen.
And it was climbing.
It left the stadium. It was gone.
Not a bad way to go out. I've actually thought about that a few times. How's the soccer career end? You know, because you just kind of kicked it back up for a weekend. Tearing your hip flexor, ripping a fucking soccer ball out of a stadium. It's a pretty good way to kind of go out the entire thing. Jage, what you do? You got into a fist fight with a guy who's really good at soccer. You remember that? He was
the security guy. Too.
Security
Oh
guy.
yeah,
He's 100 years old.
Has your soccer career, Jage? You cared so much.
I cared too much.
I was so impressed with how much you cared, dude. The amount of time he played.
Yeah.
Remember how much?
And they only had 8 guys.
Dragging ass on that field. I'm watching from the south. I'm like, this dude is like, and really giving effort to the whole thing. Almost scored. Jage, that was a hell of a performance out of you, Jage.
It was too much. It was I put too much care into it, and it took my emotions to a place they probably shouldn't have gone.
Well, you're an owner.
Yeah.
We like that type of ownership. That's what we need. All right, let's go to another one. Last one. This is from Genosaurus Rex, which could also be Ginosaurus Rex. Gino Mozzalupo. That's holy shit, Faison. Gino Mozzalupo.
I hope it is.
Oh my God. Hashtag Ask Jage. JJ, follow up. I'm curious to hear what you have to say about this. You were the commissioner of the NFL for a day. What is the one thing you were changing immediately? Have a great day, boys. Salute, cheers. Cheers to you too, Faison. All right, Jage, last question here. You are the commissioner of the NFL. What are you doing on day one of your leadership?
I like this question. This is a good one. I've actually heard a discussion about this before, and one I have my answer next, but one that I heard that I actually liked. If you haven't won a playoff game in 20 years, you're forced to sell the team.
Oh, wow.
That's an interesting one. Because you're going to get a profit. Like it's not like it's like a major punishment. You're going to get billions of dollars.
I like
that
one.
But if you haven't fielded any competitive win a playoff game in 20 years.
That's like an American version of relegation. You know, because like overseas in your world, soccer world, if you're an owner and your team sucks, like you're going to go down and the money's going to go down and the team's going to have, and it's going to be very obvious. Now, if you suck, it doesn't matter because you're just the owner and you can continue to suck and still make money and your fan base has to sit there and live along. That's brilliant. I've never heard that.
Never.
Let's make that 15 years. Not 20. Make that thing 15.
Yeah, yikes.
Who would be in it right now?
Steven Ross.
Dolphins. Woody Johnson.
Yep. The Colts would be looking at a near
they
future
won.
of relegation. Yep.
I like that one though, man, because
it's relegation.
That'd be fast. Mine personally would be.
Not that one. That's good.
I would compensate the referees more and make them full-time employees, but I would also have the punishments be higher. I would have, statistics on them. I would have a whole pool of well-compensated officials, and I would have like a promotion relegation system for officials where if you miss a certain number of calls or we go back and we watch the film and you miss too many calls, you're out and the next guy gets his shot and you can earn your way back in. But I think there needs to be more accountability. I think there needs to be, it's a hard job. I also don't want these guys to think it's a very hard job, just like our job. I don't get a sack every play, but I do get graded every play. The public is on me every play. Like you can tell if I'm playing good or if I'm playing bad. I think there needs to be more accountability for them. And I think that should be, and then if I got a little extra time, 4th and 15 for onside kicks, because I'm sick of the onside kick situation.
We only need one thing. You don't need to get rid of the onside kick, okay?
Well, get better at it then, because we got done.
Agreed. AJ, which one of those three, I guess, do you like the most, Age?
The ref thing is intriguing. I like being able to hold these guys accountable. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and you guys say guys, obviously. We're talking
guys,
to people.
When I say guys, I mean humans.
Jage too, yeah, Jage too, same thing. It's just we're talking about the whole group because there's a lot of female officials, a lot of women officials we're seeing, and I think we're all pretty excited to see anybody be good at the job. Doesn't matter.
Bingo.
You're good, we want to.
And they should be compensated for it. They should be compensated well because they take so much shit. Like, they take so much shit. And they have a hard job that millions and millions of people and billions of dollars are controlling. So let's compensate them appropriately, but let's also, if we're going to criticize them anyway, why not criticize them with repercussions?
And I like and we've had a lot of discussions about this because, you talk about so many things in the sports world on a regular basis. I like the thought of like, yeah, you got benched. Then this person got brought up. And I'll tell you what, once you get benched, you're going to have to prove some shit around campus, around the official campus. You're going to have to be better in practice. You're going to have to take some tests. You're going to have to take some better reps. And then you can have them in the offseason, like train together, work together, go to, trust falls together. Like build the ref team as a team, especially if it's a full-time thing. You should be able to do that. Now, Roger Goodell, we've asked about this numerous times, and he goes, aren't the NBA refs full-time? How are they doing? Is that good? Oh, it's not figured out? All right, sweet. So that's kind of what their reaction is. And they I think, want to publicly put support behind the current refs. So they never want to come out and say, we need to fix the ref thing. But it's certainly on their radar, especially if J.J. Watt is calling for it. There's teams now, to talk about the relegation, having to sell the team. Here's the longest NFL playoff game win drats out there. Dolphins, Stephen Ross has an F1 race in Miami, but no longer has the team. Mark Davis, he might still live in Vegas in that sweet house, but he no longer has the team. If it was to be 15 years, they did sell it. They got new ownership in Washington. Chicago, oh no, that'd be pretty historic. That'd be a pretty historic change. New York Jets, that'd be a pretty big change here in a couple years if they were to make it to 15 years between the two of them. It's I like that, Jage. I'd never heard that before. I like that one a lot.
Love it.
Me too. A little accountability.
Why not?
You know,
a little incentive to be good. Yeah.
You don't just get to ride the cash cow forever.
No.
Because you just so happen to find yourself on top.
Imagine the drama that would come up with, like, if a team is on 14 years and they're like on the playoff bubble.
All in. We want to trade all of our picks from next year. All of them. I guess there would have to be restrictions on the end of that run.
Yeah. That's bad. Yeah.
Trade a hit call.
That'd be.
Yeah, you can't. They would have to say, like, you can only trade 2 of your next 5 first rounders in the final 2 years of your playoff. There would have to be a full discussion.
For the new group.
Yeah, because you can't just leave the next group with
good luck, boys. Yeah, have fun.
We don't know how it didn't work. We gave away everything. We literally gave. And good luck with your salary cap. We're $80 million over. You got to figure that out. All right, Jage, we appreciate you spending extra time with us, and have a great week. Are you on TV this weekend or no?
No, I'm not. Where are you on Saturday?
Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I'm an idiot, man. Holy shit. CTE.
I didn't take the right vitamins.
We had a full conversation about it.
I didn't take the right vitamins. You remember when we were doing sports journalism in your face and you had no idea what was going on earlier? Remember that?
Maybe I should.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
You're a role model. What the hell?
I take vitamins every morning. Vitamins every morning.
You're right.
Got D, super EPAs. Got some
fish oils.
Yeah.
Fish oils.
Yeah, that's an EPA.
Vitamin T, pretty good. HC.
Nope.
GH.
Jeez.
No, never that. Would love to know what was possible with
talking roofies.
We should.
You would have been a fucking menace.
That's what
JJ.
Gump's talking about.
No,
I know.
He's talking about the vitamins H, GH.
Oh, I thought GHB. He was talking like he was going to roofie.
You would know, wouldn't you, weirdo?
What?
No.
What's going on in Ohio, brother?
Way too familiar with that, man.
Hey, I know a couple people that have roofied themselves, so yeah.
What?
On purpose.
Well, we know Bob Carpenter gets a little wild on Fridays.
No, not Bob.
Is this what the show's like this late in the day? I'm never on this.
What do you mean?
This is great.
Yeah, we just learned science right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're looking up for the actual, what would that be called? The actual code, the symbol. What GH? What is that?
Roofalin. Roofies.
Yeah, your house is way too close.
Doug,
to be
come on, Doug. You gave me roofies, Doug.
Great. All right, Jage, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. And if you ever decide to smoke marijuana, not any of the other vitamins we're talking about here, but in a legal state, obviously, which Arizona is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
They got no rules over there.
Awesome.
You go in, out of towner.
Does anywhere have rules anymore?
Yes. So like out of staters trying to potentially enjoy in the local laws. Different states have different regulations on how much, and you're doing the math on this iPad and you're adding like, all right, I'll take a couple of these edibles, take a couple of these pre-rolls. Let me get some of this drink. And then all of a sudden it just turns red. Like you're going to have to start doing math now. You're only allowed a certain amount because you're from out of town. And all those levels change with each state. Arizona, I think it's just like, whatever the hell you want to do.
Have fun.
Just let it rip.
They are.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they're like.
Say. Let it rip.
I thought it was just basically free for all everywhere now. I thought that's
Now, Illinois, real tight.
Massachusetts.
Real tight.
Yeah.
And by tight, I mean like
Indiana.
Indiana's never going to have it.
Shoot you on sight.
Never?
I don't think so, brother. I don't think so.
Damn.
That's why whenever I go to a state where it's legal, I'm like, okay, I will enjoy it here because I know when I go back to Indiana, the air will always be marijuana free.
Straight and narrow.
Then I'm
Yeah,
breathing it.
of course.
Okay.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Fame. Thank you. JJ Watt.
Yay!
That was quite a performance out of JJ.
Incredible.
Wasn't it?
Couple hours.
Sure was.
You're out there in Arizona, you know.
Love it. Yeah, it is the Wild Wild West. I've called you plenty of times. Everything is the Wild Wild West out there.
Arizona is the weather, the view.
What do you mean?
They don't fuck around with DUIs though.
No, you go right to the tent city or whatever.
Tent City, yeah. They got rid of that sheriff though.
Oh, so now it's just a bunch of tents in the middle of town.
I mean, which is smart. They shouldn't.
I think they still do it actually.
Don't be DUI in 2024.
No.
But definitely don't do it in a state where you're going to 3 days in jail out in the middle of the desert.
Sounds
regardless.
terrible.
No, you shouldn't do it anywhere. Let's make sure that is fact. As somebody who has had friends that have passed away from the entire thing, very serious. But in Arizona, it was, hey, we're not doing this anymore.
Zero tolerance.
Arizonans must have just been driving drunk everywhere.
No.
Sheriff comes in and is like, what? We got to fucking somehow.
We're going to stop this now.
We got to slow these people down somehow.
Fast cars. too.
Every Wednesday, we have the opportunity to get smarter when it comes to football, boys. And obviously, it's an insane honor. Actually, before we do that, let's see if Stanford Steve answers. Because remember, we were going to have Stanford Steve on.
Yeah, yep.
And he wasn't available. Did you know that, Age?
I did not.
I enjoy Stanford Steve. His energy is remarkable.
He's awesome.
Always jolly.
He is jolly.
He's a jolly individual. that is how I view Stanford Steve coming into this holiday season. So I was real excited, because I knew he had some.
You picked Stanford this week?
No, he picked against him. Picked a 20. Hey, we're live. We're live. Great. All right, we're live. We're live. I
was watching. We still talking Thanksgiving?
Okay, what is your take on that? You like mashed potatoes or no?
I ate the whole sandwich last week.
Oh, yeah, the one that they delivered to us at the thing that busted out a stitch in my mouth. It was certainly a nice Thanksgiving sandwich. Hey, Steve, I read your text message to me earlier whenever we were doing the college football playoff thing, and you said, what happens if Indiana beats Ohio State, especially with how it seems as if strength of schedule matters with this particular committee. Do you think Ohio State would get left out of the entire thing if Indiana beats Ohio State, Stanford Steve?
Well, here's the deal. Last year, Florida State made a decision the decision was made about Florida State because they didn't have their quarterback, right?
Yep.
Now, Ohio State's not going to have their left tackle and their center. How much does that matter to the committee? I think it's a big deal.
Do you think let's say Indiana wins, do you think Ohio State just goes into the pool of maybes, or do you think
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Oh, no. AJ, do you have anything to say? I will relay your message to Stanford Steve. AJ Hawk was hearing this earlier, and he goes, we get to find out if Indiana and Ohio State is better.
Yeah.
We get to see them play between the lines. But, AJ, that then gets into the judgment and the opinion work of the entire college football world, Age.
Yeah, I don't think anyone at Ohio State expects to get in if they lose to Indiana. So,
he said nobody at Ohio State expects to get in if they lose to Indiana anyways. I like that. It sounds like they are.
I like that, too.
Yeah,
Raise the expectation.
Okay. Anything else we should think about from that CFP being launched last night?
Did you bring up the SEC? How they were ranked? It's pretty obvious they had to use strength of schedule. Knowing that Bama's teams, it's funny. They didn't play Kentucky and Mississippi State, and Tennessee did, and Tennessee beat Alabama. But that looks like it's going to hurt their conference opponent's win percentage.
Hey, where are you right now? AJ wants to know where you are. You didn't listen to a word you just said. You just said, where are you right now?
I'm in my basement attempting to bring up the tree. I'm about to leave for 12 days, so trying to get some shit done.
Hey, safe travels. We appreciate you. We'll see you this weekend.
All right, are you coming Friday or no?
Yeah. The weather, though, we got to figure out.
I'll be there for you. Whatever you want me to hold it. I'll hold one of those heaters.
All right. It's not the heat. It's the rain. I'll see you, Steve. I'll see you. I'm not kidding. Nobody's holding an umbrella for me. Okay.
12 days. Where's he going?
Where is it going?
I'm telling you,
grinding.
just if you happen to turn on ESPN, this motherfucker's doing a show from
Yeah.
a different place every time you see him. And I happen to see him a couple different times in different places, but he'll be in his hotel room, then he's live on a set, then he's in a different city on a sideline, and then he's after Monday Night Football. So that's going until like 1 or 2 a.m. So the flights that you have to take out of that aren't until 6 a.m. Can't go the night before Monday Night Football because we got after Monday Night Football there. So he's grinding right now. Steve is grinding right now. And he's winning too.
Mm-hmm.
2-1 this past weekend. He's like 21-12, I think, on the year, 22-12.
If Indiana beats Ohio State, wouldn't Indiana and Oregon be 1-2, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to boot Ohio State for losing to the number 1 and number 2 teams in the country?
Yeah, and then they're saying strength of schedule does matter. And it's like, well,
Then how?
we just
Ohio
lost.
State's going to be in the playoff.
They're definitely in.
I think so too, just because like everything about the Ohio State team, the amount of money spent on the roster, the coaches that were brought, Chip Kelly being brought in there, Ohio State being Ohio State, Ohio fans the way they are, the way the season's gone, how many wins they've already had. Not saying any of them are massive. I'm just saying the number of wins that they have actually won would give somebody in that college football playoff committee debate enough to say, like, look, they beat and they have this. They haven't even played their best ball yet. That's what is potentially being sold to, the potential probably in there, which I don't think is right. I'm not saying any of this is right, but it's just like when you got humans making decisions, you can assume that there's going to be biases naturally involved, which leads us to Indiana. Like, we'd like to see Indiana win. Yeah. Me personally, somebody who lives in Indiana would like to see Indiana win. Granted, if Ohio State wins, love that Ohio State gets a massive win because the Buckeyes are going all in this year. So, like, that is a very good thing for college ball and for the state of Ohio. But let's say Indiana does lose, like how these Ohio State fans think is going to happen. Whenever you start humans talking about one of the most pivotal spots in the history of college football, which is a chance in this 12-team playoff, I think natural biases are going to cook too about Indiana.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of people that are pissed about it because it sets a precedent. And then there's going to be a lot of people who are like, right decision was made. Right decision was made. And then once again, dog chase tail. It just never ends. You know, AJ? Like, that's just the reality of the situation whenever humans are doing it.
Yeah, if Indiana won, like, they can't help the strength of schedule argument against them, but the only way they can help themselves is to beat Ohio State. So that would even things out, I feel like.
Yeah, and, you know, like Joey Galloway was bringing up.
Joey was great. I love what Joey's doing.
So why don't they should rush Joey Galloway, Ohio State legend, by the way. Indiana's playing Ohio State. He's trending number 2. Listen to this fucking asshole. That's what they were saying. They were getting after him. But if they lose by 50, they're still in Indiana? That's what?
No.
Oh,
they're not going to lose by 50, but I'm just saying.
If they get their asses beat, I don't think they're in.
Indiana?
Yeah.
I agree.
What's the number?
3 touchdowns.
You think it's 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I think it's based off how the game goes. Like, if it's 14-10 at halftime, then they lose by over 20. I think they're all right. If it's from start to finish, I don't know.
Texas lost to Georgia by what, 17? And they're the number 3 team in the country, and Georgia's 10th. So if Indiana loses to the second-ranked team in the country by 17 or 21, they're still in the playoffs.
I think it has to be bigger than that. I think it has to be like a 28.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns.
I agree. 49-7.
I think it has to be one, like what the Lions just did to the Jets.
Yes.
I think that's what, I'm not saying this is going to happen. We're just saying if it does happen, I think that's when the conversation gets real loud.
Yeah.
One loss, who cares? A lot of people, you know.
At this point, I'd actually like to know what the most fair situation would be for every single team.
Well,
because it doesn't seem like there is one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends on, fair is in the eye of the beholder.
Life's not fair.
There's also, I can't express this enough, when it gets down to this and they're putting the teams in, there's a lot of money to be made betting on who gets in. Because Alabama was plus 300 last year to make the playoff, right before it happened.
And we should just, when we're gambling on that, we should be like, humans are making this decision.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if the humans are athletic directors from the Big Ten or people from the Big Ten. It's like there's debate happening in there. Who can make the best argument? Who can you stand on a table for? And who's going to end up losing because of that? We're not saying it's right.
Yeah. What are Colorado's odds right now?
IU is minus 355 to make the playoff. Colorado is even money, plus 100 to make the playoffs.
That'd be better.
Yeah, because argument's sake.
Yeah, bingo. Heisman's on there, too?
Two of them. They got two
And
Heisman.
The number one pick.
And they're, okay. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, let's not. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get smarter on this particular Wednesday in the NFL. We're so lucky that we get to do this.
It's the best.
There's a 12-year NFL vet who played offensive line, fullback, kickoff return team.
Wide.
But mostly offensive line. I believe he played some guard, played some center, never ever tackle.
No?
Never.
That'd be dumb.
Unless it was tackle over, and they just needed a body to stand in place of a tackle.
That's right.
Never can't stress this one enough. Never even a thought of putting him at tackle, which is kind of a bummer. Because I think you would have figured it out.
I would have figured it out.
Let's go in the trenches with AQ Shipley on the top 5 performing offensive lines from Week 11.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. Number 5, the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
I love where this team is going, and they got one of my favorite offensive linemen in the belly, Quinn Miners. Let's take a look at this. We're going to run a little zone.
Just real quick, though.
Yeah.
Before we dive into this. This is Sean Payton's Denver Broncos. Mm-hmm. They are hamstrung by a massive deficit to their salary cap that they decided to do whenever they said, we'll pay Russell Wilson $83 million over the next 2 years to not be here. Mm-hmm. Okay? Sean Payton made that decision. When Sean Payton got to the Broncos, we had a conversation with him on Radio Row. You had a conversation with him more directly.
Oh yeah.
And said, I think you said, hey, you got to figure out that offensive line. And he said, absolutely. It's going to be one of the first things we do. They've got to the point now where they have figured it out.
They have figured it out.
Let's go.
Yeah, they got some guys. I love this group, actually. Quinn Miners is great, and they went and got McGlinchey from San Fran. He's doing a nice job. Garrett Bowles is one of the biggest pricks in the NFL right now. But you get a little zone. Miners sets this thing free, right? He gets a little block on the linebacker coming across. Check this out. I think the running back gets hit at the 10-yard line. Now, let's just watch the buy-in. Let's watch the effort. There it is. Miners gets a little push, right? Now he's going to get hit, what, about the 10? Is that what we see?
Yep.
Now let's watch this. Watch all the linemen go down and finish this thing off. Tight ends are in there. Receivers are in there. All the linemen running. Everybody's getting down there. Let's carry this guy into the end zone. You got to love to see this.
Sutton.
Yeah, they're all in there.
That's awesome.
It's a picture in the line room.
Yeah, and literally, I think one of the guys, I think Diggs maybe, or Nick maybe, or maybe it was Brucey, said that there's a picture, literally, the running back's feet are off the ground. They're carrying him into the end zone.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's O-line football right there.
That is.
That's top 5 O-line football right there.
That's right.
The Broncos. Who's number 4?
The L.A. Chargers.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to love this. They literally had a wing T formation, and they're doing everything that Jim Harbaugh loves to do, and this is the epitome of it right here. Let's go short yardage goal line. Let's get as many tight ends and fullbacks and linemen in the game as you can. You need a play. It's the fourth quarter. Guess we're going to run power. We're going to run power to the left. Let's pull the guard. We get everybody blocking down. Boom, boom. Get Pipkins around. Kick out. There's the big gaping hole. And we get Dobbins going to the end zone.
Wow. That's like one of the first plays ever put into football, right?
Literally, it's the first play installed in run game on every single team you will ever play for. And look at it. This is goal line formation. I mean, they got 2 tight ends and a fullback in the game, basically. There's only one play.
22, brother.
That is it.
Scott Matlock must be a nightmare to take on, too. Trey Hendrickson didn't look too pumped.
No. How cool is it that literally this Harbaugh took his brother's formula and literally brought 2 running backs from Baltimore, took a D lineman, made him a fullback. It's literally the exact same formula. Oh, by the way, Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, came from there as well.
Man. And, I mean,
that's a move.
J.K. Dobbins being all the way back is sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He talked about finishing when he came on the show, like early in the season, like, hey, got to finish, got to get in the zone. So to close out the game, finish that move at the end of that shit, that's tough sliver.
Yeah.
He said, I'm running hundreds. Remember, isn't that what he said? I'm running hundreds. And then the next week, he went. I said I was going to get in shape. They're all bought in. Offensive line, great for the Chargers. Look out.
Joe Alt might be the best rookie offensive lineman. And, I mean, obviously, he went as high as he did. He went number 5 overall, but he's having a fantastic year.
Okay, who's the number 3 performing offensive line from Week 11 of the NFL season?
The Detroit Lions are always in the mix.
Wow.
Always in the mix. I mean, they get 70 from one back, 60 from another. I mean, if the only reason that they go to number 3 is because they decided to throw the ball a little bit more this week. But I love this scheme. It's one of my favorite schemes. They're going to block Penei Sewell to our left, out. They're going to block him out, right? Everybody else washes. So you get a fucking hole that's 20 yards wide. And then look what they're going to do. Tight split by St. Brown is going to insert. Look at the hole between Sewell and Zeitler whenever they insert St. Brown. That's a 20-yard wide hole. Could you run through that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You? I think we could all run through this.
But he doesn't. Cuts it back anyways.
How good is that, though?
Guy's unbelievable.
It's the same play. I don't know if you guys remember. They did it with Laporta earlier in the year. They do it all the time. They block one out, wash everything else, get a tight split with either Laporta or receiver, and they insert it. It's like a zone insert. It's really cool, but you get these huge holes like that.
Oh, there it is.
That's incredible.
How good is that?
Make a couple guys.
How good is that?
Foxy, how good does that feel, brother?
Yeah, as long as they can do that, they can beat anyone. That's why everyone trusts them in the playoffs. I think they can go. And it's like, this took a long time. Decker was a first-rounder. Sewell was a top 10 pick. Ragnow, first-rounder. And then they picked up Zeitler, also a first-rounder.
This Jacksonville Jaguars team, the best team ever assembled.
On paper.
Who the fuck?
I didn't fucking say that.
God, no.
Did you say that?
No. God, no.
Was that you? No.
Hey, me? Is there someone behind me?
No.
Oh, who said it?
Who said it? I don't know. I don't know.
That was great. That was great.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Must watch.
Probably chief football strategist, if we had to guess.
There is a chance that he walked in there with the neck brace on.
I'm looking at the fucking on the depth chart right now, and this might be the best team I've ever seen.
Dad,
Fucking best team ever, Dad. Best team ever.
Congrats to me. I did it.
There's a chance.
Yeah,
There's a
huge
chance
chance.
that happened verbatim.
There is a chance. In my head, I saw it actually happen.
Yeah, me too.
I saw it actually happening. Chief football strategist, you would think would directly report to owner, operator, president.
Mm-hmm.
That is where it came from.
Yeah.
Shad walked in there so confident. I heard.
My son knows football. He said we have the best team ever. so you tell me, Super Bowl this year or next year? Or?
I don't like that that's been thrown in their face so much.
But
because fuck, if I was an owner, I would want to say that too. You know, every single Jerry Jones does say it every single year. Actually, that's good business. That's good promotion. But when it goes like this, man, that's the wrong year to say it. You know, like start that promotion next year, not this year. You know, best team ever promotion.
Can't be saying that and getting beat by 30 every week. You know, best team ever. I don't know. And then some weeks, you know, you're not getting beat by 30. You're getting beat by 50. So it's.
Let's go to the number 2 performing offensive line from Week 11 in the trenches. It is
the New Orleans Saints.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, they got back to doing what they do best. Listen, they run the football. They got Taysom Hill had 150 yards on 7 carries. Could have shown the 75-yarder, except the right tackle jumped false start, but the refs didn't call it, so I didn't want to show that one. But we got Kamara running. Hey, AJ, you used to love taking this play on, right? Little fullback ISO. Little fullback Bob coming right at you, back on backer. Give it to Kamara. Look at the center, does a great job getting up to the middle backer. Washing him by, we get the cut back by Kamara. Watch this cut. Watch this cut here. Whoop, whoop. Let's go all the way back.
God,
there it is.
So fast.
How good is he?
Nasty.
They paid him. So he's the only one. He's the only one that's going to be there next year, pretty much.
Pretty much.
AJ, what do you do here as the backer? You're trying to feed back to your buddies?
Yeah, 58. He's trying to box it. You call it box it, trying to knock it back into that middle backer. But the problem is 66 gets up so fast, he picks off the middle backer. Boom, here we go. They got to play.
But this old buddy here is trying to do.
He's trying to stay on the outside of on the 6 of the fullback, so he knocks Kamara back. So he technically sent it back to his help, but they already had people on your help.
And you got a guy that's just going to say, "Nah, I'm actually going to go
left.
I'm going to go that way with it."
This is what I talk about all the time, though. Like, go back to the very beginning here. Right? If you go back to the very beginning, and there's no fullback in this game, right? Now, everybody has to push front side. So now see number 9 out there? They'd be pushing to 9. The center would have to push to 58. Everybody's out leveraged, right? But whenever you add a fullback, now everybody's block becomes easier. If you have a fullback on your roster and you can run fullback plays, now look at 64. He's already got the angle. 66 has an easier block on the back. Everybody has easier blocks because you're always working back, right? All these teams that have gone away from the fullback because they want to get more skill guys, their running game suffers because you're always out leveraged.
Okay, so riddle me. Say that one more again.
I don't know. Maybe he should have, with the safety coming down here, though, like, you think this backer was supposed to spill it to him, even though they got the tight end blocking the guy in the box?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, you might be right. I mean, he could have spilled it there, but at the end of the day, I'm just speaking
Either way, they're
specifically
screwed.
on the offensive linemen's blocks. They would normally, their shoulders would mirror the back, so they would all be pushing front side. So see how 66 is working to the middle backer? No fullback in the game. You run the same zone to this right. Now he's pushing to 58, who the fullback's going to. So now he's fighting his ass off to get a gap over. Does that make sense?
Got it. So everything kind of
works back. It goes back one person, exactly.
Okay.
And that's what makes San
So
Fran.
instead of having to go all the way over here,
correct,
you just got to go here.
And then this backside 64, see, now he just goes up and he's got the backside back. He's already got the angle.
Got it. So we're slid over a guy.
Exactly.
When you got the center backside guard up that quick on your second level, like, you're screwed. Like, it's going to be an explosive game.
So have they been doing this all year? Is Darren Rizzi coming in there saying, "I'll come"? We don't have Taysom Hill. We don't have fucking fullback. I want to fucking play football. You know, what are we?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, they came in and changed the game.
Who's the head coach? Me, right?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Fucking Taysom Hill plays police. Police, we got a guy. Nobody else got. How hard is it to play? Yeah. Ask the guys. Him and Alvin Kamara at the basketball game, too. It's like, I feel like they love that guy down there.
Yeah.
They've won.
2 in a row.
They play great. They're on in the trenches all of a sudden.
Undefeated.
Is it too little too late?
Yep.
Maybe
Yeah,
not.
probably.
I don't know.
Falcons keep losing.
All right, let's go to the number 1 offensive line from week 11 of the NFL season in the trenches. AQ Shipley, who is it?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
Again. They continue to play at a high level. Let's take a look at this. I don't know if you guys saw this. Cam Jurgens, the center. This is the big touchdown to Saquon. We get the toss, and they're going to get the cutback. Let's just watch the center. Boom!
This is awesome.
Oh, 35.
Yeah, watch out. Boom!
Oh,
I mean,
It's not fair.
this is an NFL football game, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! No, wait. He thinks the play's over.
Not again.
No.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get him again.
Not again.
Oh boy.
No.
Oh, boy.
Push him in the back. Right there.
Just throw him back down.
Oh, my God.
We'll take a corner clip right there.
Jurgens.
That was terrible.
You guys love that, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean,
the fat boys love it. I mean,
It's a
they
mean
bullies.
cut.
Hey, when he throws him on the ground the first time, he thinks the play's over. He's chilling. He's looking at him, talking shit, head bobbing, like, oh yeah, oh shit, I got to get him again. Play's still going.
2 knockdowns, 1 play.
That's
that guy
it.
doesn't deserve it. That's corner.
Come on.
That's a DB.
Nice guy.
Motion him in the box. That's what happens. Don't come down and play with the big boys. Cam Jurgens, great block.
Congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. What an absolutely
They're doing
phenomenal
awesome things.
bunch.
I mean, they ran the shit out of the ball in the fourth quarter. Their scheme was awesome. They were doing some different stuff. It was really good. Really good to see.
I did not have that on here, so I'm happy you put that up. The offensive lines that are great week in and week out, inevitably in the end will show up. That's why we do this segment. And also, it's nice to put a little spotlight on the tough guys of every team. Great work, AQ. Great work to those 5 offensive lines. Top performing out of week 11. Now, from the offensive line to the secondary, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everything DB. Good D, bad D.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's stick with the Philadelphia Eagles in the fourth quarter. One half
Good team.
of the exciting whites. Hey, he is.
I like that we have an official name now.
That's their name.
They're the
claimed
exciting
it.
whites.
They got merch. I love it.
Allegedly, they saw it on somebody.
Okay.
And they said that was awesome. And then somebody bought them and sent it to them. And then they were like, this is hilarious. And they wore them. So the exciting whites of Philly are certainly just that.
I love it. And they are hoping. Ed Reed, Blankenship, once again, being the closer. This is quarters coverage against this. If you pause it right here. And when you have quarters coverage as this safety in this corner at the bottom, the toughest route against one of the toughest routes is scissors route. So that's the outside receiver running a post, a scary Terry down here, and then the inside receiver, number 2 receiver, running an out-breaking route. And the reason it's the toughest is because as a quarter defender, that corner, your outside leverage against a post, and the safety, your inside leverage against an out-breaking route. So watch the patience, the discipline of Reed Blankenship to be patient, read this route, basically beat Noah Brown to the spot. So he started inside, ended up jumping outside. Cooper DeJean has a good drop underneath as well as a quarter flat defender. He almost gets in the window as well, but to close this space, to anticipate that, to get down and obviously catch that ball, huge turnover. You give your offense the ball at midfield, basically with 5 minutes left in the game. Huge play from Reed Blankenship.
Old buddy's trying to sell hard. He's going this way, right?
Yeah, he's trying to sell the over route or post, basically run a post corner. What do we call this? I forgot the name we used to call it. Almost like a banana route. They take it to that hash mark, and that's usually an indicator if they're going to break out or keep running across. But even if he runs across, that's going to run, if you pause it, that's going to run into GJ's quarter of the field. So he's not worried about that. He actually jumps back to the outside once again. Starting inside leverage, ends up outside leverage, and intercepted his ball. Big play by Blankenship.
Corners hanging on to him no matter how long Terry goes this way?
Yeah, so corners hanging on to him. And pre-snap, you usually have to have a conversation, especially if you run it back all the way to the beginning.
Yeah, third tight split like that, they're stacked. Aren't you? Sometimes they may banjo that, wouldn't they, D-Bud?
Yep, exactly. So that's the pre-snap. So that's right there. That's happening right now.
Good for that.
Sometimes
Good for that. Look at communication.
And that's a
beautiful.
rookie. That's a rookie down there. Blankenship is young as well, but that's Quinyon Mitchell, who's having a phenomenal year. Quinton and Old Bay been locking guys up all year. So they have the conversation pre-snap. Hey, we're either passing this off, banjo, whatever it's called, or we're locking it. So that means my guys run post, I stick with them. Your guy run corner, you stick with them. And once again, for offense, this is the coverage you want for this route concept. And for the defense, you talk pre-snap, figure this out.
He said lock it, didn't he? Don't you think?
It had to be locked, yeah. Lock. Because if they pass,
look how tough it is, though. Look, D-Bud, it's even better, though. They get down to the bunch. They go, okay, here we got a bunch. Yep. Okay, we're in a bunch here. Communicate. Oh, no, we're going to motion into a two-man stack. So these guys are on it.
Yeah, so after the motion, still another. Yes, still.
So
it's, lock.
So the first communication, if I was in it, so if I'm Cooper DeJean with the three-man bunch, we end up going 4-on-3. So Zach Bond's over there. He's talking to Reed Blankenship as well, 53. He's talking to the safety. The nickel is talking to the corner. But everybody's on the same page. Usually it's a box adjustment. So it's going to be 4-on-3. Once you go away from the bunch and you go to a two-man stack, now it's another conversation about how we're going to handle this two-man stack. And even if they lock this or if they pass it, regardless, it's going to play out the same because of the releases of the receivers. With Noah Brown taking that hard inside release, the safety has to – and once you pass like a 6-yard, that's kind of like the line of, that's once you pass that, now we're locked on to our guy.
You know what I love? Just look at this. This is Vic Fangio over, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as old buddy starts the motion, boom. Watch his head. Just like a quick peek real quick.
Yep. Verbal, nonverbal communication.
Quick peek. Hey, we're all on the same page? Yup, we're on the same page. Yup, we're on the same page. Yup. And then executing.
Yep.
It's like that means practice. Everybody's doing, paying attention. Meetings, everybody's paying attention. Yeah. And then obviously in a big moment to be able to execute it, it's like that is quite a statement about a defense and being bought in, which once again, Coach Tariani.
Yeah. Big dumb dipshit.
How come he don't get any respect?
I don't know. Everybody loves playing for him.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and the quarters, that's one of Fangio's, base coverages. Gus Bradley, he's going to be a single high cover 3. Did a lot of the same things in Seattle. Different coordinators have their different base coverages, so you're going to know all the adjustments out of those. Here's Kirby Joseph, the league leader in interceptions.
Really?
Seems like he's on here every week. I think McKinney may have 6 right now, and Kirby got his 7th against Mac Jones here. 2nd and 1, kind of similar, the throw and the interception to what Carlton Davis did last week against C.J. Stroud. And he kind of, I think, after the game said he baited Mac Jones into this one. This is what he does, man. He just sees ball, get ball whenever he's in the deep part of that field.
That was a good ball.
Come on.
Remember he caught a touchdown jumping at his pro day to showcase that he can do things like this.
Oh, yeah. Navy read option. Guy can fucking sling it.
So sprinting out, post safety, get to the sideline, getting off that hash, we call it, making the catch, just covering ground, getting his 7th interception. Once again, leading the lead. This dude, every week he's getting the ball. This whole defense, obviously they brought Z Smith in to get some pass rush. He got banged up, but they make explosive plays on the back end, whether it's Brian Branch, whether it's him getting their hands on the ball, creating turnovers to get this explosive offense more and more opportunities.
All right, who's next?
Great bunch. Devon Witherspoon, great rookie last year. Got him lined up against Christian McCaffrey up top, where they have split out at wide receiver. Just physical. Never let him create any separation. The TV replay made it even better. And then tips and overthrows, we always talk about it. Close the gap, bat the ball up in the air, and then the big man go up high-pointed. We always talk about high-pointed as DBs. You don't wait for the ball to come down. You go up and get that thing at its highest point. So great job, obviously, by Witherspoon first and foremost.
Patience.
Yeah. Whip route. That's a tough route to guard.
That patience off the line, and then to get his head back at the quarterback. He's playing this. He's smart, though. It's like, I think the first down marker is right at the 30, isn't it? So he knows.
Yeah. And if you run it back real quick, even from the wide copy, you'll see once again just some quick communication, if we're locking it, if we're bumping it, because you got Debo Samuel coming over. So whatever adjustment they're going to make, you see that the down DB right there, their point, I think that's maybe Julian Love, and you see 8 come down and cover Debo. So once again, a lot of times you can't turn around and talk to guys, so that's the nonverbal part of the communication. It's verbal, nonverbal communication. You always got to be on the same page as defense.
I thought you were saying I'm number one.
Yeah.
I'm
acknowledge him.
OTC. Yeah,
I think he's here.
Could be Roman Reigns. Could be. I mean, there's a chance, Could be a chance. How about Hankins being an absolute athlete there?
Gets up.
Run to the ball.
Hankins is 400 pounds, too. This is insane.
It is insane that 400-pounders are able to do that.
Yeah, it is.
Think about his knees the whole time. He's jumping up there doing that. Is this Seattle Seahawks team still in it? Yes.
Great job. Get up there, get it, big boy.
Do they have 400-pounders that are making jumping catches?
And then get down, cover the ball up, have some football IQ, not like these big-ass offensive linemen.
What are you talking about?
I mean, we got LSU picking the ball up, trying to crib it, stiff arm a guy. Then we're on prime time, Dallas Cowboys, Cooper Kush. Here we go right here. Look at this. Okay, this is a bad play. Don't make a bad play worse.
Petrie.
You're not going to the crib, brother. Get your fat ass on the ground and let's snap the ball again. Bad game worse than a 10-point game. Immediately it's a 7-point game. Game over. I mean, when you pick this ball up.
He could have got the first down.
Look at the flashback.
Give me that.
Oh, yeah. Like, what you doing, dude?
That play led to a tweet from D-Butch that said, hey, lineman, just a PSA almost. When your big ass gets the ball covered up with 2 hands and get the fuck on the ground,
Please.
You are not going to the crib. Second time this week the big fella's made a play or a bad play worse. That is awesome. And then AQ obviously saw that.
AQ.
AQ, you get the ball in your hand, make a play, right? Is that the...
There was one time we played the Rams in London. We lost 33-0, but I picked up a fumble. And I literally did this. No joke. Like, I picked the ball up and I hesitated for a second. I looked around and then I felt like I was the guy from Varsity Blues. I was stiff arming people and then I almost got my knee blown out. I held on to the ball though.
How many yards?
Ball secured.
It felt like 30. I think I only got like 2.
Yeah. I ran a fake one time. Christmas Eve against the Raiders.
Yeah.
I thought for sure I had to run for the first down. It was like 4th and 4 or something like that. I didn't get a single yard. I got back to the line of scrimmage, had a fumble, fucking got tackled by 14 people. People laying on my leg.
Oh, yeah.
I had Hockey League talking shit to me. What are you doing? The whole thing. I mean, it's a nightmare having that ball in your hand.
It's terrifying when they're coming at you.
But I do appreciate the fact that some people get the ball in their hand and they're like,
oh, yeah.
Now's the time.
Watch this.
Now's the
Look,
time.
his elbows on
Robert
top
Hunt,
of the ball.
Dolphins guard a couple years ago, obviously Carolina now. I think he inspired a whole generation of line.
Oh, my goodness.
There was the dude in New England. What's the return to
Kickoff return.
Dan Conley.
Yeah. Well, I was there. I was in that
That was
game.
against Packers, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I was there. Yeah, I was in a meeting afterwards, too. Yeah, that was great.
Is that the Matt Flynn game?
Yeah, I think so.
Flinner.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, he does have it high and tight. I mean, he looks like he knows.
Yeah, but he's got all his fingers taped together. He's only got 3 points of
you're
pressure.
right.
on his
Cover the
hands.
points.
He's all buddy taped.
He's got 3 points of pressure in his hands just by himself.
They pulled him after this, too. They put another lineman.
Oh, no. He does not deserve that.
No.
Just make a touchdown.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to great play from the linebacker.
Oh, yeah. Great play. You saw one big fella get it. Now, linebacker, we had Trevon Diggs against the Falcons. We talked about, pre-snap. Let's go pre-snap. You're running back to the beginning. Pre-snap, gathering information. If you're the quarterback, Lamar Jackson, you see a linebacker on Justice Hill who is a weapon out of the backfield. So he knows right now, I got man-to-man coverage. Let's get to another formation, and let's run a pick wheel route. Now, a pick is legal if it's made within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. So this receiver Bateman down here with his cut split is trying to come down and pick Peyton Willis. Now, he goes to the back door, which I always say don't do. You go over the top to limit, that game. If you go under, if he hits him in stride, this could be a touchdown. You go over the top, maybe a first down. But he goes underneath, hauls ass, plays the hands because he was out of phase, and then ripped this out and came up with the interception. Obviously, anytime these two teams go at it, defensive plays, turnovers, keeping points off the board is key. Just a phenomenal play. You coach it up. If you're out of phase, which he is, play the hands.
What's out of phase mean?
Out of phase is basically if the guy has a step or more on you. Like you're out of phase, just keep running. If he catches it, tackle him. Maybe play the eyes. In phase is kind of I'm shoulder to shoulder. I'm in position. That's when you want to get your head back, lean, and locate but just a phenomenal job from Wilson getting through that traffic, avoiding that pick, locked down in, and just playing the hands all the way. We always talk about play it all the way through the ground in the NFL. You obviously got to finish the catch through the ground, and he did a great job ripping his ball out and creating his turnover.
That's Coach Locke.
What's that?
Who is that?
The DB coach?
Yeah.
On the sideline right there?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I didn't know either. I thought you knew. I didn't know who it was.
No, I'm saying locked in.
Locked in, yeah. Too blurry. I thought it was Coach Locke, maybe you said. I didn't remember.
Oh,
but
no.
You're talking about everybody thinks this is a reception for the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
This is an explosive play. What a big-time play. And instead, I mean, what a miraculous pick for a linebacker to make.
Unreal.
I mean, you drill it.
And I'm keeping it off the fucking ground.
And AJ's probably been in this situation, but like these type of running backs, like these quicker backs, these kind of scat backs, pass game backs, once they get into that wide offset with sometimes it's a tight end with a cut split or receiver in the cut split, like that's the one route you're thinking like, shit, if they run this pick wheel, that's the worst position you can be in. So for him to finish that play, stay calm. You got to stay calm, not panic, not just run into him and get a PI. It's a great job by Wilson.
I like the fact that, unlike that offensive lineman, he was looking to get that ball out of his hands as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that was the best part of it, getting it to the athlete.
Jeez.
Whoa.
He's
an athlete. Look at that play.
I mean, he's a linebacker. Get it to a DB.
Listen, he's 6'4", 230. He ran a 4.43 at the combine, so he's an athlete.
With
but he did. As soon as he gets up there, look at him. Get this out of here.
Make us an athlete.
Take it.
All right, who we got next?
And we got one bad.
Come on, man. How many fucking times?
I'm sorry,
Be
man.
on
This
bad
is just bad. This is cover zero. So you got cover zero. That's an all-out blitz. All the DBs are one-on-one coverage on an island. Now, what I hate about cover zero, so it's two things. As a DB, love cover zero because you know the ball has to come out quick more times than not. We can always send one more than they can pick up. But what I hate about cover zero is if the linebacker or safety, so you run it back to the beginning, whoever is blitzing, just get up in your gap and go. I hate the disguise when you're coming from 4, 5, 6 yards deep because that's not helping me out, especially against a quarterback that knows that has seen cover zero a million times. Matt Stafford knows what the coverage is. He knows as soon as those guys come, he knows exactly where he's going with Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Jones. Now he's played a ton of snaps, so he knows as a cover zero defender, you have to protect your inside. If he breaks out, you get him on the ground, you line up and play another snap. You have to protect your inside. Cooper Kupp is patient, takes a straight stem, breaks it in the last second. The ball, of course, is right on target, and then he takes it in for a big time touchdown. Walking into the end zone. Obviously, it's the big moment in the game, but you can't have it. And I don't necessarily understand the call either. 2nd and 9. Beginning of the third quarter, like this is maybe a 3rd and 9, 3rd and long, maybe they're behind the stick, something like 2nd and 9, coming from off the ball that far off. I hate it. But as a DB, whatever the call is, we got to make a play and get him on the ground so we line up again. Gotta protect your inside. I'm sure Jones will bounce back, but that's a tough rep.
Stafford and Kupp have done that to a lot of people.
Yeah, Jonathan Jones is great. I'm just glad Christian Gonzalez is on their number 3 wide receiver when we're running cover zero. I think that's the right move with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp on the field.
70% of the receptions.
Yep. And that's one of the challenges with when playing the Rams because they move around so much. Like you don't know where Cooper or Puka is going to be. They motion, they backfield, they're in the C area as a tight end. They move around so much. But if you're going to call cover zero or man-to-man coverage, hey, zero, I want you on, let's say 17.
Go.
Yeah.
But you're right, D. But linebackers go. Hey, we don't care about disguising on this. You got to go. And if you saw that little tight end, whoever was on that little motion in the backfield, you could time your blitz off of that. When you see him start to throttle down at the end of the line of scrimmage, watch this 87 throttle, get going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just move.
Before that, as you see him, you can kind of time. But it's true. Like everyone's been caught hitting it from Rhode Island here, as coaches will say in the film the next day.
You're saying as soon as he throttles down, right
there, like start to like you see it. Okay, he's throttling. I'm full sprint probably already.
Mm-hmm.
That's AJ Hawk football.
Yeah. Right.
No, I'm not saying I've done. I'm saying as a coach, that's what a coach will tell.
No, you're saying you have done
it time and time again.
Yeah,
it's easy. It's easy from the air conditioned office.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, now and also especially with the sky cam to be able to tell that somebody's throttling down. But I feel like that's a feel right that you have as soon as you see that guy go and then he turns. That guy ain't doing shit. We're rolling out here. Like that is a feel.
Especially
thing.
And if you've repped that a million times, and I guarantee you those DBs are like, hey. you better get going on this. We're playing cover 0. We need you. That ball's got to be out no matter what.
Anytime pressure is being brought, there is something else you're sacrificing.
Yeah.
Anytime you're putting pressure on the quarterback, you are sacrificing something else. So if that pressure doesn't get home, that sacrifice is going to get exposed.
Absolutely. That's why I like having a 4-man rush. It's so important. If you can, like the heydays of the Colts, when they can run cover 2, keep 2 safeties high, and you got Mathis and Freeney coming off the edge, like that's priceless.
That's the key, is having the 2 edge guys. I mean, San Fran's just rushing 4 every week, and they can't sniff the quarterback.
Well, Bosa's hurt, I think, right? Hopefully he gets healthy for a playoff run if they're able to do that. That NFC West is tough. We have an athlete amongst us. We know that. A guy who described his moment in the sun a little bit ago. We actually pulled up the tape. A.Q. Shipley, center for the Arizona Cardinals here. Snapping it to Drew Stanton, it looks like.
Yeah.
Drew Stanton all day.
Oh, boy. Go get it.
Go get it,
So fast.
Hey.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay. Yeah. Could have been much worse, brother.
AQ.
I like you put your fucking head down.
Yeah.
I like that you scooped it and didn't fall on it.
That's not bad, right?
Both
leg
hands,
drive.
Hey, both hands on the ball. Both hands on the ball immediately. Clean scoop because it's an oblong ball, not easy to scoop.
Oh, boy.
Third down,
boy.
too.
Don't,
Like,
don't
hey,
get your knee blown out. Don't do it. Yeah, they're going.
Hey, that's good work,
pretty
AQ.
good,
That's good work. You should be proud of yourself. So maybe
I thought it was going to look way worse.
you'd have to earn the ability to not have to just fall or get the ball in your hands as quick as a fatty.
Jesus. Look at the score. Jeez.
Yeah, 33-6, fourth
Howard
quarter.
Spoon out there, huh?
Could have got worse, I guess.
Yeah, Booney.
Could have got worse.
Booney fell there.
AQ, now that we've seen how athletic you can be.
Yeah.
Let's see how unathletic you can be.
All right, perfect. Here we go.
Time for a giveaway going into the holiday season. AQ, if you throw a football into that basketball hoop over there, we'll give 30 people $500 heading into this Thanksgiving week, which starts tomorrow. Boston Connor, a man who his sports teams are either in the middle of change or a dominating run, has a word of advice for you.
I mean, look, AQ, you just saw that. You proved to everybody in here and everybody watching, you can scoop the ball, you can run with the ball. I'll prove to them that you can throw that ball.
All right, here we go.
AQ Shipley, for 30 people to win $500 in his son, Day
Red.
on this glorious Wednesday, let her fly, AQ.
Oh,
man.
I like the way you attacked it, though.
Yeah, just not thinking.
Because you had been guiding there for a while.
Yep.
This one you actually let fly.
Finish the throw.
Speaking of letting fly, Foxy's back to shooting threes the way you would expect him to shoot threes.
Yeah.
Not good news.
There is Foxy's champion yet again of 33 in a scrappy battle.
And
Such
you.
a gritty battle.
What a dog fight.
How'd you shoot it?
I'm not all the way back yet. I make him.
Try to good enough.
Who'd you guys beat?
D-Butch and Connor.
That was one of the best games we've had.
46-44, I believe, is how it ended. So you know what that means.
It was awesome.
You know what that means. That was 3-rounder, and it went all the way to the final second.
Fucking Duke corner.
That Duke corner will get you.
Tough.
It really will, because you don't think about it until you get there. And then you're like, what? It is a little different here. It's a little different over here. So there's some new champs in town since the last time you've been here. But those are the same champs that there have been numerous times before. So you should feel comfortable in this spot that you're in. Speaking of comfortable, AJ is obviously in the air-conditioned attic over there in Ohio. AJ, what would you say to AQ so he can put a ball in a hoop for the first time in about a year?
Well, AQ, I've been getting many messages from people around the country. They want you to put your readers on. They think you look amazing in those things.
Wow.
There you go.
AJ,
Can't miss him.
AJ, you're right. He does look good in those readers.
Look
There
at
was a few women on X who liked the glasses as well, AQ.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, one of them was his wife. She's a big fan of yours.
You said no.
No? Okay. I think the readers look amazing, but maybe with those readers on, you're able to see where you're throwing.
One's definitely going in.
Maybe you're able to see where you're throwing. Football in the hoop. 30 people, $500 on this glorious holiday.
Oh, no.
Let's take the readers off. Let's never do that.
Yeah, my bad. That's on me.
Bubblegum Pino in the back wearing a hat that says him on it has a word of advice for you to become him, the man who wins 30 people $500.
Yeah, AQ, now that you got your readers back off, you got your sun, day, red on. You got some cool shoes, like every time you come in here.
Oh, those are nice Air Force. I like these ones the most. Thank you. Out of everything that you've worn. The last week was pretty cool. I think they matched the.
You know where these are from?
Where are they from?
Your wedding.
Oh, really? So, yeah, they are.
Got your initials.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's why we like them. All right, sweet. Yeah, we like them so much we actually bought them for you. Okay, I like that.
Gotta make
you
it,
look
yeah.
amazing in it. You look tall too. You know, Air Force Ones give you a nice little boost of height as well. With how tall you're standing, with how proud your chest is, with your Sunday red on. One of the only people that's ever worn those in public.
Without a doubt.
What a flop.
No.
I'd say.
AQ said he bought 4 items. It was $1,800.
Oh, he said he bought one of every item. It was $14,000.
That was 10% off for Black Friday.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
I forgot about that. It does look cool now that we're seeing
Oh,
it in the
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
They are. It is cool looking, right?
I think more of us should own stuff.
Is it?
Fucking
Great
better
quality.
be.
Is it?
It looks like Slosinger, the golf brand. Tiger cannot be associated with that.
Those are good golf balls, Foxy. You know that.
Best shorts I've ever worn.
Really?
It's got like the Lulu texture, but like the Nike flare at the bottom. You know?
Just 5 times as much as both.
Yeah, that's why they're $350 a pop.
Nah,
Be able to
but
wear those.
they're not looking to be the cheapest. They're looking to be the best. And that's Sun
Day red.
Why don't you get 30 people the opportunity to buy one half of a hoodie from them and win $500 going into the holiday season? AQ Shipley. Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, no. Heartbreak again.
Oh, I thought that was it.
You know, our Ram truck cornhole boards out there look fantastic, but they have had neighbors of balls from misses that you have sent out there far too often.
Yeah.
Well, to that, I say no more.
Yeah.
This ball is the ball. D-Butch actually has something to say about how good of an athlete you are that hopefully reminds yourself you can make this particular shot.
Yeah, not only the athlete that you are, but the athlete that created that, the Sunday Red. It's not about how he started, it's how he finished. All right, so let's finish. Let's put it in the hole.
It was Sundays. He's talking about Sundays. He's not talking about now.
Oh, finish
Well,
his career.
yeah, you know, yeah.
He's talking about back
Before
the golf tournament.
Way before this brand.
Not life.
Okay.
Because right now he can still do it if he had to.
Yeah. And he still finishes well.
I love Tiger, but I'm officially I'm out on that. He can't still do it if he had to.
All right, let's take a vote. If you're with Ty and you don't think Tiger will ever win another golf tournament again, say aye.
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 I'd love to see him win a Masters, but you know what? I'm probably gonna have to just eat seeing him do is shoot 76 on Thursday.
Make the cut.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, 76 on another 76 on Friday, and then we're really battling, but we might make the cut. But then what? I mean, we're
WD.
7 over. Then go bogey to start Saturday, and then my fucking back. I can't get my back. My glutes aren't activated right now, and then boom, we're withdrawn. And then we're just doing the same song and dance over and over.
No.
And that's not the Tiger I want to remember.
No.
He did it already. He won that Masters.
Exactly.
That was it. It's over.
There's going to be some golf tournament that's going to pop up that Tiger's going to win.
Yeah, the Azozo Challenge or some shit
Sure.
like that.
Maybe.
No thanks.
Count it.
For him to win that, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. AJ's in as well. So with that being said, be a champion like Tiger will still be someday. Put that ball into that hoop over there for 50 people, 30 people, 50 people. What I had to do 50 people.
All over it.
Come out.
Look at that.
I mean,
You are surrounded. That's what your balls are saying to that hoop right there.
Karma's real, Nick. Karma's real. It's coming back.
Karma from what?
Haven't won in a long time.
What happened?
I think just life in general.
Yeah, so he's making this.
I think so.
I agree.
Put
been a
good
good
things
guy.
out into the universe, like in the trenches today, was maybe the best one.
Maybe.
No flubs.
A lot of new teams in there too.
Yeah.
Saints are in there. Chargers are in there. Holy shit! What a time to be alive.
This one's going in.
Hey, Cuse, you put that football in that hoop right over there. 30 people win $500. Right for the holiday season. Why not? Why not?
Oh, man. You're all over it.
This guy hates
I thought
Christians.
that was in for sure.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Damn.
How many more balls? Nope, this is it.
This is it.
No, you can shoot these two.
Okay.
I mean,
You won't need him.
Yeah, you're right.
Just need one.
One more ball.
Oh,
There it is.
that's the one.
12-year NFL veteran.
He can bounce it.
A man who was a center. I don't know if he can bounce it that way.
oh, he should have.
Yeah.
Could have went.
Yep.
Could have went. Because you hesitated, we know there's no chance
So fucked.
that this ball is
Zero.
You feel good about it?
Switch balls.
Oh,
I like the.
Hit it in stride.
I like the ball control here. I like that because if that thing bounces that way, guess what floor is?
lava.
Yeah, it's over. So you've been rolling the dice here with this particular ball, but that's the moxie
Yeah.
that you're kind of feeling right now. How about this? For the good of Mana, for the good of the holidays, 50 people, $500. All you got to do is put that ball into that hoop right over there. Last up.
Okay.
Here we go.
So much
Last
mana.
up. 50 people,
Lock in.
$500. so much mana.
Come on, brother.
Can AQs do it for the people? That's a no. Show's over, folks.
Good run.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Darius, great work this week. D-Bots wasn't able to win yesterday either. It's been a cold Thunderdome.
It's gonna happen.
It's been a cold Thunderdome. AQ, really good work today, pal.
AQ, you guys.
Everybody in the back, great work. AJ, thank you so much. Tone from Hammer. Dahn. Really good work this week. Come join us, brother. Why don't you do that? And knock on Mitt's door, too. Tell him to come join us.
Yeah, just wake him up.
Miss locked in.
So,
look, he's already coming.
His sister, Quincy. So good at soccer.
Yeah.
Dog.
Big Ten player of the tournament.
It's awesome.
Hey, good work.
Fuck you.
Dude, it's great to be a part of this. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We're in this thing together. Never forget it. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.